Welcome, mortal kind.
Oh,
What it do, mortal kind? How y'all doing?
What?
Request accepted.
what it do, baby? What it do?
We out here.
We out here.
Mhm.
Tonight,
Out in the streets, there was violence.
I don't know the next word. I
There you
forget.
go.
Yeah, but I know the
Yeah.
song, but...
Up to be done.
Oh, you know what I just realized? Can everybody, like, put your
Something
arms
about-
out?
Electric Avenue?
Everybody good there? Up, down, around? Perfect. Cool. Just want to make
Dealing
sure.
with
I had to remake this so that
multiplication.
we didn't test it. Welcome to Quest Accepted, mortal kind. Tonight,
Hey.
we are doing something a little different. I was gifted for my birthday a copy of Daggerheart, and we had been discussing before we even started the stream about considering Daggerheart as a switch to Daggerheart, all this other stuff. And since we have the resources, we were discussing that maybe we should do that. But before we decide on anything, we want to see how the system works, if we're able to translate our characters from, you know, where we currently are to where we could be. And so that's what tonight is. Tonight is a little exploration of the Daggerheart rules, the character creation process primarily, and just seeing what Darrington Press has to offer. But before we get into that, we have some announcements to go through. We have socials. Follow our social medias.
That's the socials.
Right there. That's the socials. Just at Quest Accepted DND.
Yeah.
Um,
To be social.
To be social. This is our schedule. Tonight we usually do the campaign. Last week we did a mall one-shot, which was phenomenal. Matt DM'd it. Should be up on YouTube sometime. I'm not sure when. If it's not up yet.
No, I don't think it
believe
is.
so.
I haven't seen
believe-
that.
But
I believe
should be
he's-
coming soon.
He's hard at work.
Yeah, he's hard at work with it. But otherwise, typically we do Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition in a homebrew world of Teslam, where I GM. And these three lovely people, plus one who's not present, play wonderfully in it. And then Wednesday checkpoint is I stream Horizon Zero Dawn. That's the series that I'm starting on right now. So come on in tomorrow, hop on in and explore the wilds with Aloy and myself. We just found out what Project Zero Dawn was, and holy shit, mind-blowing twist, the most amazing thing in the world. I loved it. This is the reason I love that game, but I'm not going to spoil it, so you can tune in tomorrow and see what's up. And then Thursday, we have Steve's Quest. Steve, how's Steve's Quest
You be
doing?
questing?
Steve be questing.
I do be questioned, but here's the thing. I've been running into a lot of problems with the computer as of late.
Oh no.
Yeah. So what I've been doing is trying to be Witcher Steve Arizia, and what's happening is I don't get the Witcher my way out of problems. I don't get to Riz anything because for the computer likes to be like, hey, listen, we're gonna just chop everything up. How do you like having the rest of us watch at 2 frames a second? So
Oh, no.
that's not enjoyable
Not
for
great.
me,
Oh.
especially when I'm like, you know, it just fucking it sucks, right? So
It could be rough.
then we were playing a little bit of Blasphemous, but I got a little upgrade going in the works, and hopefully Thursday will work out supremely well. I don't know, because it's not a tried and true method. I've never done it before, but I'm gonna try to import a save from another computer onto a new computer and see how that goes. Now I don't have any mods or anything because you know I am vanilla as they come, so that should be fun. But Witcher Steve shall return, hopefully.
And we are very much looking forward to your return, which is Steve.
You got you're playing on Steam, yeah?
Yeah, I am playing
Well,
with Steve.
Make sure you check the cloud storage on the Steam like website itself. There's like a storage access that you can do.
Duly noted. Duly
I've been
noted.
having
I
a lot
might check that out on.
Emo
Yeah.
Pilgrim knows what's up.
Oh.
As the cool kids say, Steve is basic.
Yes, as the
Yeah.
cool kids say, I'm basic as fuck.
I've been having a lot of trouble with the honor mode of Baldur's Gate 3. Their saves are wonky as hell.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things I had to like jump into. It was messy.
No, I totally understand.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that should be happening, and then Saturday. Ooh, excuse me. We got some more Kingdom Hearts 3 action with me and Matt. So he is righteously going through the Kingdom Hearts 3 series, and he is enjoying it every single bit, and I am enjoying it, watching him suffer, trying to get everything he needs in order to get the ultimate weapon, which he is finally tasked with. And good luck, buddy, because it fucking sucks. But
And that'll be a trip to watch.
Yes. So that's what he's doing. It's an amazing time. We're there, and it's a good time. And because he is not able to talk for himself, the next day he gets back on the horse and rides again.
Nice.
Playing Expedition 33, Claire Obscura, Expedition 33. Yeah, Claire Obscura. Put some respect on the name. I understand. You know what? I fucked up. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, Peter, for.
All good.
For
All
that.
good.
Okay.
As foreign representation, I will forgive you.
Okay. Sweet.
Mhm.
As long as we've got that handled. But yeah. And then we round it all back to Tuesday.
To Tuesday.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's today.
That's today.
That is today.
And
Life
a
is
week
like
from today as well.
That's crazy. How time works.
Yeah. Sometimes.
We made that shit up, dude.
If you can't catch us live, though, we upload our VODs to YouTube. And this is when we put them up. Wednesday, Steve's Quest gets submitted. Friday, we get the campaign. And Saturday, Sunday Scaries. So, if you miss this, don't feel too sad. It'll be okay.
Yeah,
Tuesdays
man,
are always coming around. Damn right, Emo Pilgrim. Bullet for every man who doesn't watch the streams. Fuck yeah. Peter has books.
Them's some books. Those are my books. I done wrote those. Yeah, yo, you can check them out on Amazon currently. I am in the process of getting them in stores in my country. That's my face, real zoomed in. Meditation of Anxieties. That's sad stories, bad stories of people being hurt or doing hurting things. I was in a bad place when I wrote that, and it was a good way to get it out. Hopefully it'll maybe give you those feelings of getting that stuff out too. And Larry the Lazy Llama is a children's story about a llama named Larry who is lazy, and he's really got to figure his shit out because what a mess. It's a lovely story though. The art is great. Check them out on Amazon.
I'm not feeling this piano music.
It's very chill.
A bullet for every man is a callback to last Saturday because we were in the Pirates of the Caribbean. Sorry, I had to check myself before I wrecked myself.
Yeah, damn right.
A bullet for every man who remembers. That's so good.
Gotcha. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was thinking about the Assassin's Creed games recently because I've been playing Shadow of Mordor, and it's a great game. The rival system's so good. Screw WB for putting that behind a patent and then just letting it rot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, assholes. But you know the Assassin's Creed vibes of Black Flag and Assassin's Creed 3, but everything about Ezio was just really enjoyed that stuff. I was thinking about it.
It's a good one.
They're not on Steam though, are they?
Yes, they are.
I think they
They are?
I have just about every one. I just haven't played them.
On Steam?
Yeah. I have just about all of them.
So I thought they had removed them and put them on like the EA launcher because everybody's got to have their own little store.
I mean, you may not be able to buy new ones, but they're there.
Assassin's Creed.
I know in like the bargain bin I bought like Odyssey and Origins like years ago, and I was like, can't wait to play these, and they're too massive, man. And then Valhalla came out, and I was like, let's give it another go.
Valhalla is like the biggest they've ever made. It's insane. It's way too much.
I was trying to 100% it, and then I got stuck on a glitch, and it
Mhm.
literally killed all my momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Like,
sounds
I
about
was
right.
I was working from the map top down, and I was like on the very bottom to where there's like the little island off to the right,
Mm-hmm.
Worcestershire or whatever the shires are called.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
But
Mhm,
like
yeah.
off to the left, there was a lady that was humming the Star Trek theme song,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and it glitched out right there. Like she tries to kill you, and then you break out of the house, and then she's supposed to attack you, but then I broke out of the house, and all she was doing was just like, "La," or just doing the Star Trek theme, and she never became like a person that I could attack. So it just glitched it, and it didn't give me the completion thing. I was like, well, I'm done. All right.
Yep.
That would
last
be. That would also like dishearten me.
last manual save or auto save was like from like 3 hours ago.
Oh no.
I was
Well,
like,
the
I'm good.
further away you are from it, the more it feels like if I drop it for a year and come back, I'll be less upset.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
dead
I
to
didn't
me.
say
Emo
hi,
gets it.
mom. Hi, mom. She agrees with
What
me,
to do,
Pilgrim.
Mom?
And Assassin's 3, fantastic game. Absolutely love it.
Is just
Booty!
dope, you know? Did Matt catch the plague?
Matt did not catch the plague. He is otherwise occupied tonight, but he is well, and he sends his love. But speaking of Matt, New Year, New Matt, we are starting the charity challenge. Matt had the New Year's resolution to. You were making out? Oh, so did you give him the plague?
Oh, Booty's been sick. Like sick,
Oh, he's
sick
kidding.
AF.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
woof.
Yeah.
Sick,
Yeah.
but in like skateboard lingo, right?
No.
Oh no.
Like dying, but still somehow watching our stream. And it's thank you.
Thank you for showing up, man.
I appreciate it. Man.
Prioritize your health.
Take care of yourself for sure.
What?
Drink some. Oh my god.
What do you mean?
Get them liquids in and antibiotics if you need them.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you got insurance.
Jesus. Hey, Shock Trooper. Welcome. Damn. Well, I hope you're okay, buddy. Okay, yeah. Share the story in the Discord, because, damn, we gotta know about that. Holy crap. Join our
True
Discord.
Chaos-
We got the
true
doobly
Chaos
doo.
Gremlin? Mm-mm.
What?
True Chaos Gremlin is sitting to the left of me. It might be my right.
Oh wait, me?
Yes, you.
You.
Oh, you were talking about.
The
I was like, yeah, bring him on the screen. Oh,
oh.
me.
Bring
Yes.
bring Willow on the screen too.
Oh, I have no idea where she is. She's
Hey, Emo Pilgrim joined the
probably
chat. Let's go.
asleep in her bed.
Fair enough.
Oh,
cutie.
I
he's
know.
so cute.
Be right back.
He is the ultimate warrior, the ultimate badass.
True.
So yeah,
Deserves
so
all the
New Year,
sleeps.
New Matt. Every month there's a new charity. There's a new workout. This month we're doing Save the Children. It is a fantastic charity. Matt let me choose this month because it's my birthday month. But you should donate to Save the Children. It helps children all across the world, primarily in vulnerable
From London to
communities,
LA.
crisis areas. It helps with nutrition, emergency aid, schooling, and it's kind of one of the best ways that children are able to, from around the world in the worst parts of the world, kind of have success into adulthood. So donate, save the children. Every $50, we run a mile. And Tiff's doing it too.
Hell yeah.
I'm so excited too.
That's the scary part, is
That's
that you
not
mean that.
sarcasm.
No, I know. That's the scary part. Is that's
Are you kidding? I put on my Love Island podcast, and I just get to
Everybody
cruise
is
in, and
obs-
I'm a happy camper.
everybody's obsessed with Love Island these days. I've never watched it.
I have been obsessed with Love Island since like literally before COVID, so 2020 was when. Actually, it was summer of 2019 is when I got hooked on Love Island, and now I just watch not only UK but Australia has been great for a few years, and then all of a sudden USA last year just really stepped up their game, and now this year it's great. So now I have so much Love Island to watch, and it makes me so happy.
That's fantastic.
Fair enough.
There was
The
a
little
Love
things in
Island
life.
was one of the answers in Jeopardy recently. I don't know how recently, but it was hilarious.
At some point recently.
Yeah, because you got these nerds on
Yeah.
trivia not knowing their shit, and it's Love Island. They got to get their shit together.
Yeah,
True
true
crime
crime's
girly.
the other thing that people are loving.
Yeah. How to figure out how to get away with it.
Okay. So how are we feeling? Do we feel we're ready to go?
I was born to make characters.
Fair enough. All right.
Character on.
So
I literally don't know.
you,
It's
anything
exciting.
about this.
yeah, that's what we're here to help. I'm here to help. I'll be guiding you through the character creation process. So there's two options that you have. I did not give Tiff a heads up. You didn't print anything, did you? Do you have access to a printer? Okay. So you have two options. In the chat, not the stream chat, in our personal chat, I have put my login for Demiplane. Demiplane functions like a D&D Beyond for a number of games, amongst them Daggerheart. So you guys can log in, create a character, and create the characters in there, or you can get the free rules from the Daggerheart website, daggerheart.com. So we're gonna do.
They're like downloadable sheets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's downloadable sheets. So Tiff, if you go to daggerheart.com,
PDFs.
hit resources and downloads, you'll see one that says character sheets and guides. You're probably gonna focus on Druid. So what you can do is when you open that, you only need to print, I think, pages
The domain cards and because
3,
that includes
4, 5, and 6.
but also all the way at the bottom of the domain sections or the cards is heritages and communities.
Ah,
Yes.
dang it. Oh,
What?
I didn't scroll far. I would have printed those out, but I didn't scroll far enough down.
It's okay. We still have Demiplane, so you can go ahead and use Demiplane, and we'll make it happen. So for those of you at home that are interested in creating your own Daggerheart character, I would encourage you to get on Daggerheart.com or get on Demiplane. Ideally, Daggerheart.com. All the basic important rules are free on Daggerheart.com. You can download the pages and you can start like scribbling on a notebook or a piece of paper, and then you can translate it once you print those things out.
That's kind of a fun little thing that we could do here as well, right? Is if we want to, we'll make our characters and so on, but maybe make because Daggerheart does this thing that D&D doesn't normally do, where you ask other people at the table things to bring them into your, like how do we relate to each other?
Right.
If we're all making characters together, including the chat, that's something that maybe we could have some fun with. Emo, how did you betray me?
Ooh,
things
that's
like
a
that.
great idea. All right, so if you want to make a character along with us, do those things, and when we get to the because what we're primarily
Making
concerned
connections.
about right now is mechanically seeing how we can put Hazel and Sabir and Augie from Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition to Daggerheart. But the questions, those will be adjusted for the players at a later time. So we don't need to worry too much about those things. So if y'all want to just start throwing out random suggestions, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, this is as far as narrative is concerned, for the purposes of tonight. In my mind, this is Augie AU. You feel me?
Yeah.
This isn't.
Or the Unearthed Arcana version for Daggerheart is called The Void.
Augie the Void.
There you go.
Of the Void. Oh, that's kind of a cool,
That's a
edgy
badass title. Yeah. That is a badass title.
Be back. Going
I
to
am
get
Augie
the
of
sheets
the
I
Void.
just printed.
Go for it.
And Emo Pilgrim betrayed me somehow, and I've yet to learn how.
What? Oh, Emo Pilgrim betrayed you?
Why not? I can't
what did-
imagine.
What did Emo Pilgrim do to
I don't know.
gain
Emo-
my trust?
There you go. Yeah. Emo's got to tell us.
Take
I
a
mean,
hit
my
out of
mom
Augie.
watches Had My Trust from forever, so
Mhm.
can't
For the
imagine she'd ever
first
betray.
time
Full
in
trust.
Forever.
Mhm.
Oh, that's not where I
Coming
have
for that booty is just not trustworthy at all.
Yeah,
He is
gave Matt the plague,
coming for-
apparently.
That's right.
Coming for that booty is very trustworthy. I would trust him with my life. 12 feet away
Well.
from me, so that way I don't get sick.
Yeah, momentarily
betraying?
12 feet away.
Mhm.
All right. I am moving some stuff around. Don't need that sheet. Don't need that right now.
I was planning on using Demiplane
Go for it. Use Demiplane.
Coolio.
Unless you wanted to use stuff from the Void, because they have Warlock and they have Fighter in the Void.
So they changed. They actually released like a video recently. I don't know if it's been updated on the Void itself, but Fighter is now called Brawler.
Nice.
And they'll be releasing 2 new subclasses or classes. It wasn't clear to me if they were classes or subclasses. One is the Witch, and one is
Assassin.
Assassin. That's
Oh,
what
and
it
they
is.
have new ancestries and communities. They just updated this.
As well as a new domain, which is the Dread domain.
Yes.
Yeah,
With 2Ds?
as far as
3Ds?
I'm aware.
You know
Yeah,
what? For
that's
you, yes. Ooh. They have
6 months in the ISO cubes for breathing wrong.
Duneborn, Freeborn, Frostborn, Hearthborn, Reborn, and Warborn.
Yeah, for-
All right. All right, cool.
Reborn's for like
So-
your character doesn't remember their domain.
If you guys want, get into the Void, check these out. This looks pretty cool. And they've got the new Warlock, and they've got the Brawler. This is pretty badass. This is really, really badass. All right. All right, so let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at the classes that are available. For those of you who have... let me see. For those of you who have the book, you want to go to page 14, and we can see all the core classes that are available in the book. So,
Hell yeah.
How nice is that book, though?
oh my god, it's beautiful. Like, the art in this thing is amazing, and they, like they have, like, all these awesome little, like, sketches and diagrams, and they have, like, these fantastic descriptions. Like little notes. Fawns can use their powerful hind legs to deliver strong blows and leap great distances. As they grow older, some fawns may take on more goat-like appearance. And they have like a comparison of like an adult fawn versus a child fawn. So like adult and child.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. The horns are like tiny, and then
They get bigger. And it's just really, really great. Their fairy art is also really cool because they're insectoid-like. So they got like this beetle-looking thing, and then they've got like it's just really, really neat.
incidentally, I popped over to Demiplane just to open the classes section or the class section, and
so not
and Brawler is on there, and so is Warlock.
yes.
Just heads up.
And then the other thing
That's
as well is that there is a card creator in Daggerheart for us to make our own things. So, for example, Steve, Severe has very specific mechanics that define him that I have not been able to find into Daggerheart. So we're going to work together to identify and develop those mechanics to fit whichever character archetype you want to go with.
Okay.
And there's also no there's no, what's the word, wildfire druid either. But
no.
there is a warden of the elemental druid. But we will be able to bring
The shock really hit hard.
we will be able to
Kimberly.
no
And then he's like, "There's no wildfire druid."
I've only seen that face when we thought Pillow was dead.
we are going to make sure that Holly exists as well.
Watch out, Marco!
It's like, I will find an Etsy witch to fireball you.
We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. So, first things first,
I'm a
let's
realist.
dig in and pick our class.
I'm the most straightforward one, I think, in terms of what we're looking for here.
If you Tiff, I'm trying to see where I can get you like the information. Have you logged into my Demiplane account? Tiff's hard to
Audio's
hear.
not coming through.
Yeah, it's like coming through.
Can you hear
every
me?
once- We
Oh,
can
now
hear
you
you.
can.
Just,
I'll move my microphone.
there you go. That's better.
That'll probably help. Because I was looking the other way.
Okay, so Augie, what do you think you are in this case?
No question about it. As far as I'm concerned, I am a warrior. Augie in D&D is a rune knight fighter, which the translation of this, I would argue, could maybe be a seraph, but there's no, like, the magic dealing fighter classes, as far as I can see, are seraph and ranger. Or rogue, arguably, but primarily I'm a dex-based fighter, and the bone domain is the one that seems to be attuned towards dex adjacent things.
And you said you're a dex-based fighter?
Yeah. I mean, my highest stat is Constitution, but after that, Dexterity. Or actually, I think they might be the same, 18-18. But yeah, Bone and Blade. So someone who can, avoid getting hit, or like respond to getting hit. That seems to be the vibe that Augie's got.
And so, would you say you're a Call of the Brave or Call of the Slayer?
That's I think it would be Call of the Brave, probably, because I'm trying to be upfront and tanky in that context.
So,
But because Guardian is a lot more strength-based, Warrior seems more along the lines.
So, the subclasses, the Warrior says that you should play Call of the Brave if you want to use might of your enemies to fuel your own power, and you should play Call of the Slayer if you want to strike down adversaries with immense force.
Yeah, I think Augie is less about doing the killing and more about being a support role, because his whole thing in the group that he's originally from, under the ocean, is he's not like a individual doing solo runs. He's part of a group.
Gotcha.
So he's not trying to be a one-man army necessarily. So I do think Call of the Brave is more
Fair
on his
enough.
track.
All right. So, Warrior, Call of the Brave for Augie.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Sabir? Have you seen and looked and decided? I know it's tough.
So here's the cool thing, right? If I wanted to, so the multi-classing feature does exist. You can multi-class to another class once you reach level 5 through 7, from what I'm reading.
Yes.
Yeah.
But for this experiment, we're doing level 1, right?
We may level up to 2 potentially.
I'd say
Okay.
we go up to 3, but I understand.
Yeah,
I'm,
well, yeah,
I'm more, you know, I've been playing with this a lot.
Well,
the last like week.
We'll go to 1, see how we feel, and then see if we go to 2, see how we feel, and then see if we go to 3.
Coward.
See,
You coward.
see, because from what I understand is I was going to pick exactly Warrior Call the Brave.
Oh.
I do feel like we're kindred spirits, my friend.
Yes, I'm so.
But then
If I may though, because although you did say that you're thinking about the multi-class, right off the bat, the Seraph, I think fits.
That's what I was gonna go into. So
Oh,
I'm thinking.
Go for it. Yeah.
I'm thinking for now, since this is just a character creation, like kind of like mind thing, I'm gonna choose Seraph. I printed out both sheets, so I
Nice.
was kind of like I kind of was not really.
So let's do this for Sabir specifically, because mechanics for Sabir are very what's the word?
Crucial, fundamental.
No, signature. Sabir is a very signature character in like the mechanics that he has for 5th edition, which there isn't a great translation in Daggerheart. So identify the key mechanics that you think make Sabir in 5th edition, and we'll see how we can translate that to Daggerheart with the card creator and see which category, keeping in mind the multi-class limitation, which category it fits best in. All right.
Okay. I mean, yeah. All right. Cool.
All right.
I'll think of that if you want to move on.
Yeah, think of that. Think of like your Action Surge and your Echo Knight feature, and the features that also like you want to get to. Like, I know that you have it all mapped out. So think of the features that will be coming as well. But in the meantime, just focus right now on level 1, maybe level 2. All right, Tiff. What is Hazel in this world?
She's a druid. That's
Let's
about
go.
as far as I've gotten.
All right. So she's a druid. Now, druids have 2 different subclasses. We have Warden of the Elements and Warden of Renewal. So you would play the Warden of Elements if you want to embody the natural elements of the wild, or Warden of Renewal if you want to use powerful magic to heal your party.
Tough.
Speak up. What?
I said, oh, I don't know. That's tough.
Is it really?
Kind of, yeah.
It's the elemental druid and the not elemental druid.
Yeah, Warden of Renewal, which is about healing and renewing and rebirth of life and all that.
Yeah, but like it's tough because obviously like when you're a druid, you like the natural elements of the wild, but I have made Hazel a healer. Yes, I know. It seems ironic. I get it. But she does have a lot of healing spells.
She has casted healing spells.
So let's do this.
You could flavor it like the Phoenix. That's fire.
Let's do this. We're going to look at the foundation cards for Druid. These are the foundation cards for each of the 2 Warden types, which you have access to from Daggerheart downloads if you go into print and play cards. So we'll just read each of these so that you can decide which of the 2. And if neither of them really apply, we'll go from there. So...
So sorry, quick, in case Steve hasn't seen it, check the chat, the player chat. I just sent you a message.
Is that what the thing is? Okay, yeah. All right. I kept hearing like a notification. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Gotcha. Sorry.
Hey, listen, I'm already on it. Yeah, great minds. Great minds.
Great minds.
Yeah,
I mean, you can say it out loud. We don't have to put it in chat. Like,
I just didn't want to interrupt what you were doing.
I appreciate
that's
that. Okay.
When we go back to Steve, it'll make sense.
So Tiff, we have two things. We have Warden of the Elements and Warden of Renewal. Let's read them out. Because Druid has access to both the Sage and Arcana domains, that won't really make a difference. So the thing that we want to focus on right now is the Foundation cards. So Warden of Elements, Elemental Aura. Once per rest, while channeling, we'll get into that later, you can assume an aura matching your element. The aura affects targets within close range until your channeling ends. So, to give you an idea, in Daggerheart, we don't have distance measured in feet. We have distance measured in melee, very close, close, far, very far, out of range. But we do have a equivalent. So melee would be within 5 feet, close would be within 10 feet, very close is 10 to 30 feet. Very close is 10 feet, close is 10 to 30 feet, far away is 30 to 60, very far is up to 120, and out of range is plus 300. So, for fire, when an adversary marks... Oh. I'm just realizing that this goes into the mechanics, but if you don't understand how the mechanics work for the game, then none of these things really mean anything. So we're gonna take a step back.
We could simplify it, right?
No, we're gonna take a step back and we're gonna go over an overview of what it's like to interact with characters. So, is everybody looking at a character sheet?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go onto the Druid character sheet just so that
Yes, Queen.
I can guide from there.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes. No
So, Tiff, are you on the character sheet?
I am.
All right. So at the very top, you can see your name, your heritage, your pronouns, and your subclass, as well as your level. You see that Druid has Sage and Arcana written under it. These are the domains that Druids have access to. Now, below that, you see Evasion and Armor. We'll get into those later. And then you have your character traits, your agility, your strength, your finesse, instinct, presence, and knowledge, right? These are like the traits from Dungeons & Dragons of intelligence, dexterity, wisdom, charisma, constitution, so on and so forth. So now, damage and health. In Dungeons & Dragons, when somebody hits your armor class, you take damage in accordance with their damage roll. Well, Daggerheart works similarly, but slightly different. If an enemy is able to hit your armor class, you have 3 different armor, thresholds. Damage threshold. They're called damage thresholds. You have a minor damage, a major damage, and a severe damage threshold. So, if something, let's say your severe damage threshold is 15. If I roll as an enemy, and I hit you 15 or above, you mark 3 hit points off of your total of, your Druid, you start with 6 hit points.
So half your hit HP.
Half your HP. You can use an armor slot to reduce the damage threshold by 1, making it major damage, marking only 2 hit points. And...
A third.
What?
Only.
Yeah.
Just a third. You
Only a
know?
third.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
You
So much better than
Yeah.
like
You can also, if it lands in major, you can't use it twice. You can't use 2 in the same hit. But if it hits with a major, then you can bring it down to minor damage and only mark 1 hit point. So that's how HP kind of works in the game. Then we have stress. Certain actions cause stress to the character. So you mark a stress when you want to do something or you want to resist something, so on and so forth. Now, below that, you see where it says hope. In Daggerheart, we don't roll with a d20, we roll with d12s. We roll specifically with 2 d12s. And we have 2 distinct colors of d12s. These are called your duality dice. One of them is your hope die, and one of them is your fear die. So, do you have 2 d12 with you? All right. Assign one as hope, and are they different colors?
I recently received dice as a gift, and they've got eyes. So freaking cool.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys can see them in the.
Oh yeah.
It's a little hard to. Oh, look! I can see the
Oh,
logo.
it's the
Oh,
knitting
it's the
funny.
logo.
Yeah, look at that.
All right. So do you have your 2d12?
I will in just one moment.
I have 2d12. One has eyes and one doesn't. Damn it.
One of mine has an octopus, and one has the Mad Hatter's hat.
Dude, that's so cool. That's fantastic.
The octopus one sounds
I-
familiar. Was I there when you got that
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so assign one of them as fear and the other one as hope.
This is really tough. I like them both.
Well, one's
Okay.
the Mad Hatter, and the other one's the friend in the ocean.
Wow, I honestly had those reversed. So.
What?
I would have made octopus hope as well.
Perfect.
That's wild, Tiff.
Yeah, I had Octopus as fear and Mad Hatter as hope. So.
Oh.
Well, you
Oh,
do you,
well, then we go
man.
backwards.
I guess we all know what goes through my head. So.
Clearly.
Octopus tastes good. I feel bad because
How
they're smart.
dare
but it
you
does
say
taste
that?
good. It's yummy.
All right. So, you have the Mad Hatter as hope.
Yes.
All right. So roll your 2d12 and tell me what each one comes up with.
Mad Hatter hope is a 4, and my fear is a natural 1.
All right. So you rolled 4 with hope. So if I set a DC of, let's say, 7, right? You fail because whatever action you want to take, you fail because you rolled less than a 7. But you rolled with a hope. And so you can mark a hope spot there. Now, hope is a in-game currency that's used to complete certain actions, help an ally, things of that sort. Now, you don't get the action that you wanted to do, but you get a hope that you can expend later. Now, let's suppose that you roll again, and you do pass the threshold, and you pass with hope. That's your hope die rolls higher, so that you succeeded with hope, right? That means that you gain a hope, and you accomplish what you wanted to accomplish. Now, rolling with fear. If you do not beat the threshold, and your fear die rolls higher, you roll with fear. And I get a token, a fear token, that I get to use against you guys. Now, if you roll with fear and you succeed, you do succeed, but when I get a fear, I can use that fear in the moment, or I have a reaction that I can take that complicates the situation. So if you were trying to get away from the guards in the Oasis of 1,000 Lanterns and you succeeded with fear, you managed to get away from them. However, somebody saw you turn into a snake, like a bystander, and they caught you in their basket, and now you're at their mercy. They may keep their mouth quiet if you can convince them, or they may turn you in. You know, it depends. So that's kind of how the hope fear mechanic works. If you roll doubles on the die of any number, either double 1s or double 12, that is a critical success. You succeed in what you're accomplishing, you gain a hope, and you clear a stress. So when you do things in the game, sometimes you'll have to mark a stress. When you crit, you are able to clear a stress.
Crits look different, obviously, because 2d12. It's any doubles that you roll.
Yeah.
So 2 1s, that's a crit success.
Or 2 2s, or 2 3s, or 4s, or 5s, or whatever you want. All right. So now that we have the basic idea as to how that kind of gameplay works, I feel like that's kind of sufficient. Let's go back to our foundation cards for druids. So if you take the fire elemental aura, when an adversary marks 1 or more hit points, they also mark a stress. So when you hit somebody and they take a hit point, if you have your fire aura channeled, they mark a stress as well, which is pretty great. But then additionally, you have access to the other auras. So Earth, your allies gain a +1 bonus to strength. That just happens, which is pretty insane. Water, when an adversary deals damage to you, you can mark... Well, I should say, when the targets are within close range. So if your allies are within close range of you when you're channeling Earth, they get a +1 bonus to strength. If they move out of close range, they don't get that.
Ooh, so that's if you want to be up close and personal next to your other allies.
Right. Water. When an adversary deals damage to you, you can mark a stress to move them anywhere within very close range or where they are. Of where they are.
Nice.
So you're able to shift them on the battlefield. And then air. When you or an ally take damage from an attack beyond melee range, reduce the damage by 1d8. All right.
Good.
So now, Warden of Renewal. Oh, I should also mention, your spellcasting trait for Druid is Instinct. It's the relation to Wisdom from D&D. So, Clarity of Nature. Once per long rest, you can create a space of natural serenity within close range. When you spend a few minutes resting within the space, you can clear stress equal to your instinct, distributed as you choose between you and your allies. So if you have no stresses marked, but Augie and Sabir have 3 stresses marked total, and your instinct is 2, you can get, or your instinct is 3, you can clear 2 of Sabir's stresses and 1 of Augie's, or all 3 of Sabir and screw Augie.
That feels right.
Feels very pointed, but struck true.
Yeah, this feels appropriate to how things play out.
And then you also get regeneration. You touch a creature and spend 3 hope, that creature clears 1d4 hit points, which can be massive.
Oh, I assume that we also have like a spell list like we do
Yes.
in D&D.
Kinda.
So then would I be able to still have like healing spells, or is like this basically your option is to be a healer?
That is kind of your option to be a healer. So let's take a look-see real quick. So Druid, they have access to Arcana domain cards. So these are the domain cards. These are kind of like spells and abilities. In this case, all 3 first level spells of Druid are of Arcana are spells. All 3 first level domain cards of Arcana
There you go.
are spells. And then you also have access to the Sage domain, which I'm going to find here in a second. I actually tried to build Hazel earlier in the week, and Sabir and Shun, to make sure that I kind of
But
understood all
also
the things.
there are other options in terms of how you can like try to engage with healing. Like when we get to the experiences portion, you can give yourself the experience of being someone who heals, like a doctor or whatever, right? They give you examples. But like I made a ranger just, exploring things, and I gave him the experience of herbalist. So in my mind, what that translates to is if in like making medicines or whatever, or applying potions or healing kits or whatever that might be, maybe I get a bonus to whatever the healing might be, or the efficacy of it. So like there are other ways to engage with it that are a little bit more abstract, but in terms of like I think the cure wounds equivalent or healing word equivalent would probably come in through the splendor domain.
Splendor domain is the healing thing, which
Yeah.
Druids don't have access to. However, actually,
Correct.
Peter, that reminds me. Thank you very much. You know how you guys got a free feat at the beginning of the D&D campaign? I just said you get an additional feat for free. I'm giving you all access to a free domain card that makes thematic sense for you guys of any domain, even if you don't have access to. So you could delve into the Splendor domain, pick up a Healing Hands card, and then that can be a healing manner as well. Now, there is a spell for druids in Sage called Healing Field, but that is a 4th level domain card which you do not have access to until you're level 4. Yeah.
The domain cards. So is it like are the sage ones the green ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the little
Okay.
three-sided, three-pronged like symbol there. So
Okay.
at
Yes. Okay, I see it.
yeah.
Oh, got it. Yeah, I see it on the corner. The symbol matches up with the
Yeah.
That's right.
card.
So
Got it.
at level 1, you could choose Gifted Tracker, Nature's Tongue, or Vicious Entangle from the Druid
The
Domain
Sage.
card, or from the Sage Domain card. And for level 1 in Arcana, you could choose Rune Ward, Unleash Chaos, or Wall Walk. And we'll get to the domain selection cards, domain card selection in a moment. But you can pick 2 of these 6 cards, and you can pick 2 from the same domain or 2 from a different domain. Peter, you're gonna say something?
No. I guess just that you don't have to pick from both domains. You can pick 2 from the same domain if you prefer. You know.
And
Okay.
the 2 is not including the 1 free you gave us, so it's 3. It's 3 in total.
3 in total at level 1, which is what I would be giving, letting you guys choose.
Yeah.
Now,
Which, by the way, quick question about that.
yeah.
Would you be allowing people to replace it with one that makes sense as we level up? Like, I don't know how they scale. So
Right. So
if Healing Hands doesn't scale up to level 8, then
let's discuss Mending Touch. That is the
Mm-hmm.
first level Splendor card that is the healing version. So, Mending Touch. You lay your hands upon a creature and channel healing magic to close the wounds. When you can take a few minutes to focus on the target you're helping, you can spend 2 hope to clear a hit point or a stress on them. Once per long rest, when you spend this healing time learning something new about them or revealing something about yourself, you can clear 2 hit points or 2 stress on them instead. So the roleplay aspects really played up here, and it matters a lot.
yeah.
So that's the level 1 Splendor card. So at higher gameplay, well, and that's the thing. Because health is always marked in 3, 2, or 1, sometimes there's an optional rule that's called massive damage, where you can mark 4 health. This seems like it would work well throughout the entire game. But then there is a higher level card called Healing Hands. So Healing Hands. You make a spellcast roll, meaning that you roll your duality die, and you have to hit a 13. Spellcast roll of 13.
DC 13.
And target a creature other than yourself within melee range, meaning you have to be in touch range. On a success, you mark a stress on yourself to clear 2 hit points or 2 stress on the target. On a failure, you mark a stress to clear a single hit point or a single stress on the target. You can't heal the same target again until your next long rest.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
With that spell.
with this spell. Yes, sir.
So from what I'm seeing, I believe Peter was saying when we level up, we can swap them out. Which,
That's what I'm
from
asking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what?
So when we level up to 2, I can swap out a.
Hey,
Thanks,
all
Chewy. Stop
right.
that.
That's a
Welcome in.
fantastic name.
Welcome. That is great.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining.
Chewy was usually doing the right thing most of the time.
Most
They
of
really
the
shouldn't have
time,
been saying
like just I'd say just about every time.
that. Yeah.
So swapping
I'm
domain
seeing-
cards. That's a really good question. Let's see if I can find a ruling on that. In the meantime,
Wait. Let Steve finish his
oh,
thought.
sorry. Go ahead.
From what I was seeing, yes, we can. So if we level up to 2, we can swap out a domain card.
Okay, cool.
So from like that level. So if I had like a level 1 domain card that I wasn't really using, I can swap it out with another level 1 domain card. From what I'm seeing.
Ah.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Where do you see that?
I mean, I just kind of Google searched it, my guy.
And so that
Well-
would only be when you level up, not like each long rest, like you switch out spells.
Right.
Correct. However, once you reach level or I think it's level 5, you have what's called your loadout and you have what's called your vault. So eventually, you're going to have more than 5 cards. You can have up to 5 cards in your loadout, and every time that you rest, either short rest or long rest, you can swap them out from cards in your vault. So if you have a card in your loadout that you're not really using at the moment, and you take a rest, you're able to switch those out from your vault. But your vault does not mean every domain card that's available in your domain. It just is the domain cards that you have chosen.
Okay, that's more like preparing spells. That's cool.
That yes, that is the
Um,
equivalent of preparing spells.
But Steve, what I was asking was if, like, because if we're level 4, let's say, and you want, and you think that the midnight card that makes sense for Sabir is a level 7 card, or that makes the most sense for Sabir, you might pick something lower down that matches our level, and then as we level up, you might replace that one for one that makes more, or that is like closer to what you want as we level up. That's kind of what I'm asking.
So
like,
I would pick one that I don't have access to.
right, like we can't pick one that we don't have access to. So because Mark was saying instead of a free feat, we would be getting a free domain card that does not form part of our.
Well, I counter offer,
Hmm.
right? I counter offer. I shall choose Seraph if I can drop Valor for midnight.
Oh, drop the like
Interesting.
switch the entire domain.
Yeah, drop the Valor domain for midnight.
We can do that.
Because I mean, in my head, it's domain cards, right? Domains mean
Yeah.
gods. Different gods, different domains.
then that makes perfect sense. I love it. I love
I'm
it.
cool
I
with
love
that.
it. I love it. I love it. Counter offer.
Oh,
We make a brand new class entirely that is Splendor and Midnight.
that makes more sense to me.
Is this what the one that you were trying to get me on board with way earlier?
A little bit.
Oh, spit take.
All right. I see this game. I see this game we're playing.
So we'll check this out. So if we look at the Seraph Foundation cards, let me look up Seraph real quick. So you have Divine Wielder, right?
Choosing that one.
Instead of Winged Sentinel. Yeah, that makes sense. I thought
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
might. Your spear
Fly
is
around on the field or actually heal people. I'm a choose to make sure that people stay up.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you have this thing called Sparing Touch. So you
Yeah,
can
your loaded 20s need to get out, and that's the only way I can combat it.
Yes. So here's the thing. Divine Wielder, their spellcasting trait is Strength. So you would still be a strength-based character if that's what you wanted to be. Now, if we go with Seraph, which we can do, and we can switch out what is that? Guardian for Midnight?
Valor.
Valor for Midnight, thank you. Valor. We can do that too. You were still devoted to what the Foundation card says. Spirit Weapon. When you have an equipped weapon with a range of melee or very close, it can fly from your hand to attack an adversary within close range and then return to you. You can mark a stress to target an additional adversary within range with the same attack roll. And you also get Sparing Touch. Once per long rest, touch a creature and clear 2 hit points or 2 stress from them. Pretty
Yep.
dope.
Yeah,
Yeah, solid.
I'm fine. I'm fine with that. It's literally just the domain card of Midnight fits Sabir pretty much to it, like
As close as
It's-
it can get.
as close as it can get. And plus, this game is all about flavoring. You know,
Oh yeah.
are you
that's
just
true.
gonna have some white chicken with nothing on it? What are you,
No.
a monster?
What are you
Yeah,
on?
you need-
Exactly.
Yeah, you need to sprinkle some flavor in on it. So that spirit weapon that I'm going to be swinging around, guess what? That's now a ghost.
It's just a straight up ghost.
I love it. So
That is the restless spirit of a corpse.
So now, let's do this, because we can't create on their website, on Daggerheart website, we can't create a whole new class by the look of it, but we can create new subclasses. So let's do this. If you go to the Daggerheart website, and you click on the character on the card editor. Let's do something here. So you see how on let me know when you're selected on Divine Wielder.
A card creator, start tour. Yeah, tour. Yep, got it. All right, cool. Boom.
You're on
They
Divine
don't let
Wielder?
you nope, they don't. Stop it. Sorry, I'm in the trial process. Use these tabs. What do you mean use these tabs? I'm hitting next.
There
I
are
can't-
tabs for you to use.
Use the tabs to switch between multiple cards. That's dope. Next.
Do you need to refresh? Okay, I'll wait. I'll be quiet.
Okay, finished. All right. Tutorial over.
All right.
Nice.
I don't know what
dude.
to do.
Close the Ancestry tab that's open, and
Ancestry.
open the Subclass tab.
Subclass tab.
Now, you'll see Divine Wielder. Do you see that?
Yep.
All right. If you click on Divine Wielder, above it you see the button that says Create.
Yep.
Click on that.
Yep.
Now, you see where it says Seraph? In the middle of the card?
Yeah.
Click on that, and you'll see a drop-down menu. Bard, Druid,
Custom?
Guardian, yada yada. You can hit Custom, and we can come up with a whole new class for you. And then, additionally, on the right-hand side, you see where it says Splendor? We can, or where it says Valor, rather. Change Valor to Midnight, and there you go. So you have a Splendor...
That's such a good color combo. Wait. No, I it's Midnight and Valor. My bad. Black and
There you
gold.
go. I do love that color combo.
It's
That's
a
so
good color
good.
combo.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
my
hey, buddy.
God.
Hold on.
So let's keep
They
going.
gotta pay extra for that. All right.
Yeah, that's for the
You
other
keep them,
website.
them feet.
So
off
let's
screen.
so let's keep going.
For now.
Assuming that we can fit that gladiatorial cleric theme together in the same thing.
Oh, I'm still thinking about doing a multi-class.
Oh, you would still go with multi-class anyway.
Yeah. Potentially.
Okay,
Because
all right.
I did see some nasty stuff on the max level on 10, because this thing only goes up to 10.
It does go only up to 10. But if you go up to 10, you don't get the mastery or the specialization or the mastery for any one class, I don't believe, in the foundation cards.
I think I would get the specialization, but I wouldn't get the
the mastery.
yeah.
All right. We can adjust. If we were starting a new campaign from scratch,
Or we could go up to 20. What's stopping you? You
make
scared?
some Gestalt characters.
Yeah. Just
Hey.
I don't even know
you
what that word means, but just go up to 20.
It's busted and it's great.
In Dungeons and Dragons, a Gestalt character is a character that you create where you take two classes and you level them up together. So a monk rogue, and you take all the benefits from monk and all the benefits for rogue, and when you level up, you are a level 2 rogue and a level 2 monk at the same time.
Yeah. And you just
And you
be a
just
level
keep
20
going
monk at
level 20, you have basically 40 levels.
Yeah. It's
I feel
fucked up.
I feel like that's too broken. All I'm asking for is a level 20.
We can figure that out. We can do that.
I don't know how.
Black
but
and gold does always slap. All right, so let's think of what is the name of the new class for Severe.
I don't know.
You're doing, what was it? Splendor and Midnight?
Yeah,
Call
Splendor
it
and Midnight.
Eclipse.
The Eclipse class. That's fucking sick. All right. What do you want your spell cast
I'm gonna
trait?
say that there's already a domain card called Eclipse.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Call
Now
it
it's
Blood Moon.
Blue Moon. I don't know, man. Fucking sad boys. Fucking burnt crispy.
Burnt Crispy.
Yeah.
We'll call it Sad Boy Burnt Crispy. All right. And now
Toasted Cheeto.
we can change.
Oh.
Ooh! Toasted Cheeto.
Yeah.
Tony the Tiger in a very rough state after a bender.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I asked you earlier to look at your Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition mechanics. Which one do you think is a basic mechanic for this new Toasted Cheeto class?
Are you trying to build the custom card right now?
Yes, I'm doing that right now.
Just stick with
All right,
Splendor and Midnight.
We'll stick with Splendor and Midnight for now.
Again, I'm a basic Starbucksian. Just give me coffee.
The vanilla latte.
I do love me some regular
All right,
ass
we'll leave it. We'll leave it at that for now. Splendor and Midnight. We'll make that, and we'll figure out the foundation card details later.
Yeah, because I mean the foundation card itself for Seraph is good.
If you think that fits Sabir well, fantastic.
Okay, where fucking where? God damn it! All right. I think it's like level 2 or level 3. I don't know where this voice is coming from. I'm sorry.
Splendor of Midnight sounds like a witchy coffee shop, and one that I would go to.
I would go to
just to check it out.
Yeah.
In Tallahassee, my absolute favorite hot dog spot, Voodoo Dog. Come on.
Oh, we don't like Voodoo Dog anymore.
What happened?
They're gone.
Racism.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Why
Like-
they gotta
like-
do the racism?
like really messed up racism and sexism and stuff.
Okay,
But-
okay, level
Busy.
2 Midnight.
So they said. Level
Oh.
2 Midnight? What about it?
Level 2 Midnight Spirit. Spend a hope die to summon a humanoid-sized spirit that can move or carry things for you until your next rest. You can also send it to attack an adversary. It's there.
It's there.
It's already there.
It's
It's right
built.
there. It's
I
right
didn't
there.
I didn't make it to midnight. I didn't think that would be there, but yeah.
I made a rogue for fun.
Hey! Hydrate.
Thank you.
I got thirsty.
Yeah, we can definitely switch switch it to Splendor and Midnight for sure.
Okay. Yeah, because the first Midnight cards don't really make any sense, but when you start getting like higher levels in the Midnight ones, that's when it starts like making more sense for like Death Domain. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Let's do
You
that.
have Shadowbind, spellcast roll against all adversaries within very close range. They're restrained as Shadow binds them into place.
Yeah. The summon the shadow spirit thing.
Chokehold. When you position yourself behind a creature who's about your size, you can mark a stress, making them temporarily vulnerable. So, like, that's kind of, warrior kind of thing. There's Veil of Night. There's just a bunch of stuff in Midnight that makes sense. But I also want to heal stuff. I also want to heal people too. I'm trying to make my case.
No, I love it. I'm about it. Yeah. I'm trying to give you more.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back to Augie real quick. So, Augie,
Yo.
you have selected your class and your subclass, right?
Yeah, for sure. I've done those things, and just those things.
So now we're
Uh-huh.
going to record your character details.
Oh, okay. So you want me to pop over to experiences?
Not
Or do you mean the traits?
I mean where are they? Where are they?
Character details is a rather vague statement.
So you took your subclass card You recorded your level, which is level 1.
Yeah.
So you filled out your character details, which is your name, pronouns, subclass.
All that, yeah.
You have your character description as well.
Sure.
So
I did
in
do
the
that.
in the guide, you have the character description aspect. You can fill that out.
Yeah, done.
Where are the abilities? Okay. All right. We're not distributing the trait modifiers yet.
I
And then
already did that.
you also picked your class feature, which well, your class feature is marked on
That's
the
the
page.
subclass. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's on the class page. So you said you're a warrior, right?
Yeah.
So your class feature is attack of opportunity and combat training.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's choose your heritage.
Okay, done. Did mix ancestry. I went with, because Augie is a sea elf, part sea elf, part giant, or well, not giant technically, he's Goliath, right? But because there's no half giant in Daggerheart, but there are straight up giants. We're doing mixed ancestry of giant and elf, where you have to pick a mix of their traits, of their ancestry features. So for the top one, I picked the giant. So I went with endurance. I get an extra hit point. And for the bottom trait, I went with the elf one, which is the celestial trance. During a short rest, I can do an extra downtime move.
During any rest.
Oh, any rest, even better.
Yeah.
All
right.
And for community, I had picked Loreborn, obviously. I'll read that one here for the class. Being part of Loreborn community means you're from a society that favors strong academic or political prowess. Well-read is the feature. You have advantage on roles that involve the history, culture, or politics of a prominent person or place.
There you go.
Yeah, and because Augie do be a nerd like that, that's how we be picking. Yeah,
Fantastic. All right,
for surezies.
Tiffany. Let's go with Hazel's additional
next?
details.
Oh.
What?
I said Warden of Elements.
All right.
Hell yeah, let's
So
go.
we're doing Ward of Elements. Fantastic.
Set fire to the plains.
You're a level 1 druid, Warden of Elements. You can look on the character sheet so that you can take a look at your character details on the progression page. So if you check the back one, you'll see that there's the suggested traits, their inventory, and their character description. So this is where we're going to go into character descriptions. You can come up with your own stuff. You don't have to pick from what's here, but things that are like clothes that are like, you know, loose, natural, they're regal. Eyes that are like carnations, the earth, endless ocean, fire, lilacs, whatever. A body that is broad, carved, curvy, lanky, rotund, short, stocky, tall, thin, tiny, toned, you know. So you can circle the ones that you want, or you can write your own. Skin color, attitude, etc. Attitude like a firecracker. I don't think she's like a firecracker.
I also agree. Firecracker doesn't actually fit Hazel. I think it's what's something unexpected? Like a Jack in the Box.
Like a psychopath.
You know, you never know exactly when they're gonna.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got your character details. You've got your class feature. Your class feature is Beast Form and Wild Touch. So we'll say Wild Touch first. You can perform harmless, subtle effects that involve nature, such as causing a flower to rapidly grow, summoning a slight gust of wind, or starting a campfire at will. This is Druidcraft, essentially. And then you have your Beast Form. Now, let's delve into that for a second. If you go on to the next page for Druid, you will see your Beast Form options. So at Tier 1, which is levels 1 through 4, you have access to these 6 beast form. So you go with basically what the features of each one are, but you pick an animal that fits that feature that makes sense to you. So an agile scout can be a fox or a mouse or a weasel. If you want to be a pack predator, you can be a coyote, a hyena, or a wolf. You also have access to aquatic scout, such as like eel or fish or octopus, things like that. Giant seahorse, maybe. Or you
Seahorse
could
is
be...
a great one.
What?
Giant seahorse is a great one.
It's a great one. So you have access to all of these things automatically, and you don't have to worry about stat blocks of specific animals. You can just go and choose any one of these at any point in time, and you're good to go. Once you reach level 4, or level 5, I should say. I believe it's level 5, right? Yeah. Levels 5 through 7 is tier 3. Oh, where's tier 2? Oh, tier 2 is level 2 to 4. My bad. I'm still learning this too. So tier 1 is level 1. Once you reach up to level 2, you have access to the following 6 as well as the previous 6. And at that point, you'll be able to fly. You'll be able to be a serpent. You'll be able to be a large, powerful beast like a moose or a bear or a bull.
I've never been able to fly, so I am excited for that.
Hell yeah.
So this is your class feature. And you can go through and learn them all and all this other stuff. So now let's go with your heritage. Your heritage is consisted of your ancestry and your community. So in Dungeons and Dragons, Hazel is an elf. What is she here? And like, if you think that an ancestry fits you better than like what it is, so if you think that the elf ancestry doesn't fit quite well, but you think fawn might fit you better, we'll just reskin it. So you just mechanically will be one, but then in actuality and gameplay you'll be something else. And then additionally, we can change things if you feel you want to change things a little bit. And we'll talk about that a little bit when we get to Qatari for Steve. Because I have a thing I want to show you.
Did you want me to read the description that I wrote? I mean, I'm sure that it won't be necessary for Steve and Tiff to, fit the mold of what the game kind of pushes for, but
Go for it.
it's 1 to 2 words per thing, right? So like, at least in Demiplane, they tee you up, right? Choose your description. Clothes that are blank. So I went clothes that are sleek and sparse. Eyes like pink coral. Body that's toned. The color of the deep sea, as in, my skin tone. Attitude like a scholar.
Nice.
That's like the core of
The core
how
of
I
it
went
all?
for the description.
Fantastic.
I'm currently answering background questions.
Okay.
Yeah. I have chosen Seaborn, Qatari.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So
That's interesting because I read Seaborn and I was before reading it I was like, if you're not like doing a water campaign, what's the point? But then you read it and you're like, oh, it's more actually universal.
like applicable
This is
to a
really
bunch of
cool.
stuff. No, I loved it.
Yeah.
I also picked Qatari and Seaborn for you when I was creating Sabir over here on my own. But I made a shift to Qatari. I think Daunting Roar is a great feature that is very crucial to Sabir. If you agree or disagree, cool. He's your character. So instead of Feline Instinct, I rewrote that to make it daunting, not a Daunting Roar. I'm trying to see if I can't find the one that I made in the thing because I printed it, but I can't find it. I thought I had it somewhere, and now I'm very sad that I can't find it because I made the card and I wanted to show it to you.
What if I were to change retracting claws?
You can change that if you wanted to change that instead.
Because I do like the feline instincts, because I have been known to do a flip or two. I have also been known to not land it or two.
Ain't that the truth?
And that's the gospel truth.
I can't believe I can't find it, but I changed it to Proud Roar, and basically, if you do it, you make a check, and it'll make anybody within, or people that you choose within a close range, to be vulnerable.
All right.
But we can also come up with our own, conditions, because there are very limited conditions in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Level 1, Heritage. Seaborn Qatar.
All right. All right, so we can edit that for Daunting Roar if you wanted to do so. It's not necessary. It's entirely up to you. All right,
Yeah,
so
no,
Seaborn
we can.
and Qatari, fantastic. And we can have them mark a stress, or we can, you spend a hope die, and maybe your allies gain a hope die. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll figure out the details. All right, so Hazel, what you got?
Looking at Ancestry.
You're looking at Ancestry still?
Mhm.
What are you feeling? Have you looked at any of them and you think like this makes more sense, or is Elf good?
This is like
You
it
seem
says
you
that
sound it didn't
elf-
pick up, the mic didn't pick you up.
Oh, that's weird. It says that elves are typically tall humanoids, but I am short. So-
Well, I
Have
mean,
to
we
be
can
tall.
we can make adjustments to that. That's fine. It's really more about like the mechanics. So do you think quick reactions and celestial trance is something that suits you?
I don't know. That's a good question.
If I had to pick a ancestry for Hazel, I think
She could be Dracona.
yeah, she could be. I was thinking something like halfling or goblin, actually.
Well, what
Oh,
do they
that-
do?
Not goblin.
So
Sorry,
Dracona,
halfling.
they have scales. So your scales act as natural protection. When you would take severe damage, you can mark a stress to mark one fewer hit points. And then they also have elemental breath. You choose an element for your breath, such as electricity, fire, or ice, and you can use this breath against a target or group of targets within very close range, treating it as an instinct weapon that deals D8 magic damage using your proficiency. Something I should note. Proficiency in this game is not an addition to the roll. It's the number of dice that you would roll for a specific thing. So in this case, elemental breath, the damage is a d8. If your proficiency is 1, you roll 1d8. If your proficiency is 2, you roll 2d8, and so on and so forth. So that's Dracona, and then you had said Halfling?
I think halfling.
So Luckbringer.
It's a vibe thing.
At the start of each session, everyone in your party gains a hope, just for free, just for having a halfling with you. And then internal compass, when you roll a 1 on a hope die, you can re-roll it. So
Yeah.
whenever your hope die rolls a 1, you can always re-roll it.
Yeah, it feels like for someone who gets into as many shenanigans as Hazel, that like ability set kind of makes sense to me.
That's fair.
That being said, scrolling through these, Steve, in terms of what your character does, how do you feel about a mixed ancestry of Qatari and Fungril? Look at the Fungril's death connection.
And I'm just a fun little guy.
Yeah.
So, for those of you at home, Fungal Network, the first one, you make an instinct roll of 12 to use your mycelial array to speak with others of your ancestry. On a success, you can communicate across any distance. And then Death Connection. While touching a corpse that died recently, you can mark a stress to extract one memory from the corpse related to a specific emotion or sensation of your choice.
Yeah, kind of like what Sabir was actively doing with the lantern and that one assassin guy.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is very similar vibes.
And it would work because I have to pick a top and a bottom one. So
There you go.
And you cannot pick both top or both bottom. You have to pick the top of one and the bottom of another.
yeah,
Which would
so
be fine.
if you want that one, you gotta pick the bottom one of the Fungril, and you have to pick the top one of whichever other mixed ancestry you're going with.
Or
Which,
we
if you're going Katari, or Simia, which I think also makes sense for you.
or we could, implement the daunting roar mechanic. It's up to you.
Or that.
It's entire.
Alright, I'm gonna do the mixed ancestry right now, with a chance to drop the feline instincts for the daunting roar.
Dope.
Did you look at the Simia?
The Simia one,
Yeah, he's
The,
got
uh, the natural climber, which is
Yeah.
have advantage on agility rolls that involve balancing and climbing.
Yeah.
Well, from a couple sessions ago, we know that's a lie.
So it doesn't really
So
fit.
you
up.
were on death's door, my guy. Come
Hi,
on.
the real
I
bikini. How
was.
are you,
Yeah.
I
Be-
was on.
Becky.
I was on.
Becky?
Why? Welcome in. But yes, no, I
Hello?
was definitely on death's door.
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
I think I had like 4 hit points left,
exactly.
and then Shun walked over to one of the priests, was like, "Hey, heal me," and I was like, "That's such a," I was just like dragging and like, "That's such a good idea."
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man,
I like the
You'd
ribbit.
be a good climber otherwise. Come on.
yeah. So I think I have the beginnings
And
of what I want.
I will also
I'm just trying to fill this out.
nice. I will also say the additional sheets download will give you options for custom made domain cards, custom made ancestries, custom made subclasses. So you can print that and write on those if you want, and just we can mix them together in those cards. There's a lot of ways
Yeah.
to do it. All right.
Okie dokie.
So that is our ancestry and our community. Wait, Hazel, have you picked your ancestry and your community?
My own ancestry.
You're gonna what?
Make my own ancestry.
Oh, okay. What are you gonna make?
That's the $1 million question. But I didn't feel like any of those fit me. So now I have to pick 2 features.
So let's do this. What in your head, not thinking mechanically, but what do you think are the 2 necessary features that an elf, that Hazel, the elf specifically, would have? And I'll translate it. I'll translate it into the mechanics. So what do you think?
She definitely has a little bit of luck because she's managed to get out of a lot of shenanigans.
For now.
So, for now. But, so I feel like something like either about like using a slot of something else, or like advantage or something along those lines fits well. Because she
Okay.
probably needs it as well. And then the second thing. I don't know what a second thing she would
So
need would be. 'Cause
let's.
I feel like I want them to be like different.
Yeah. So let's do this. I've pulled up your features and traits on D&D Beyond, and I am down in the species traits. So here's a few things that elves get in D&D Beyond. In D&D, you get dark vision. You get keen senses, which is you have proficiency in perception skill. Fey ancestry, you have advantage on saves against being charmed or magic that can put you to sleep. Trance, you don't need to sleep, but you meditate semi-consciously for 4 hours a day. When meditating, you can dream after a fashion. Such dreams are actually mental exercises that have become reflexive through years of practice. After resting in this way, you gain the same benefit a human does after 8 hours of sleep. So basically, you can take a short rest for a long rest. I think the clank mechanic of efficient would be very good for that. When you take a short rest, you can choose a long rest move instead of a short rest move. So let's break a parenthesis here. And we'll kind of explain what short rest and long rest means in this game. And I have it right... Nope, not this section.
Somewhere around here.
Somewhere in here. Here we go. All right. Duality dice. Stress. Resolve the situation. Stories. Special action roll. Reaction rolls. Damage rolls. Advantage and disadvantage. Conditions. Countdowns. Downtime. So, short rest and long rest. The actions are almost the same. So, on a short rest, you may tend to wounds, you may clear a stress, you may repair armor, or you may prepare. Here's what those things... And you can pick 2 of these things to do during a short rest. Tending to wounds will allow you to clear a number of hit points equal to 1d4 plus your tier. So a level 1 character would be 1d4 plus 1. It's tier 1. A level 2 character, a level 3 character, and a level 4 character is a tier 2 character. So 1d4 plus 2, regardless of what level you are, of 2, 3, and 4, and so on and so forth. You clear a stress, which is the same thing. You clear stress, 1d4 plus your tier. Same thing, but instead of hit points, it's stress. You may repair armor. So you remember how we said that if somebody hits you above your major threshold, you can use an armor to make it a minor threshold? So when you mark your armor slot, so let's say you have leather armor. Leather armor is 3 armor slots. You can remove an armor slot to lower it, but then you have to repair your armor to gain that slot back. So you get up to 3 slots. So you can repair your armor that way. And then you may prepare. You describe how you prepare yourself for the path ahead, then you gain a hope. If you choose to prepare with 1 or more party members of your party, you each gain 2 hope. So you get to gain hope. Now, in a long rest, you have basically the same thing, but you can tend to all of your wounds. So during a long rest, you can clear every wound, you can clear every stress, you can repair all your armor, you can prepare, which can also, you gain a hope. It's the same mechanic as short and long rest, or you gain 2 hope if you do it with somebody else. But you can also work on a project. You may establish or continue work on a project. So this could be deciphering an ancient text, creating armor, or crafting a weapon, making a potion, things like that. So you're able to work on a project. And when you work on a project, that goes into more details, but like Hazel could be, upgrading her staff, things like this. So the mechanic that Clanks have is called efficient. When you take a short rest, you can choose a long rest move instead of a short rest move. So let's say you want to clear hit points and stress. You can clear 1d4 hit points, and you can clear all of your stress instead of 1d4 of each. So on and so forth. Does that make sense? So that's what I think when I read trance.
It's not efficient.
Yes, efficient is the clank one. Trance is what it's called in Dungeons and Dragons for elves.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I think. But if you think it doesn't fit either, I don't know. What else you got?
That one's pretty good.
All right, so trance, and what was the other one?
Right now, I have the other one marked as. Sorry, I'm trying to switch back and forth, and it's lagging a little bit. There we go. Oh, where did it tell me which one? Oh, sturdy. When you have 1 hit point remaining, attacks against you have disadvantage because, like, in this one, it's like 1, 2, or 3, right? So I feel like the odds that you only have 1 is more likely than when you play Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Yes, you would be at 1 hit point more readily than at 1 HP in D&D.
Yeah, so I was thinking about doing that one.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll end up working, like, well for my character or not, but...
Well, write it down and we'll go from there. We'll revisit. All right.
Do you get to change your heritage later, or is this, like, are these, like, permanent, or do you get to add them kind of like feats, like, later?
So, no. Ancestry are permanent, but to ease any anxiety, we're not actually creating the characters that we would be using in the event of switching to Daggerheart tonight. We're getting familiar with the character creation process and trying to come with the closest approximation that we can. If, after we discuss that we want to switch to Daggerheart, we will then go into detail and we'll go into, like, maybe none of these fit, we make up our own thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I was really putting a lot of thought into this. I was worried. I was like, I have trouble deciding things.
None of this is cemented in stone. Matt's not here right now. So none of this is cemented yet.
And then for, like, beast form and wild touch, can I use these in unlimited number of times since they're a class feature, or do I have a number of slots?
It depends on what the feature reads. So
okay, yeah, I see it.
So for beast form, you have to mark a stress. So if you don't have stresses available, you can't use your beast form.
Sure.
Yep. All right, cool. So we got our heritage, we got our community. Now it's time to assign character traits. Augie, what have you got?
Traits. I'm going agility 2 or +2. I'm going strength +0, finesse +1, instinct +0, presence -1, and knowledge +1.
Oh, you took knowledge, took higher agility than knowledge. All right. So,
yeah, well, I gotta be able to move around. As much of a nerd as Augie is within the group that he's a part of, he's not the nerdiest. You know what I mean?
Valid.
Yeah.
So let's go over. We don't have a tomato metaphor for Daggerheart yet, but we'll.
I could probably come up with.
I was gonna try my best. Do you want to?
You want to give it a shot?
I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot.
All right,
so,
you go for it.
Agility, which is denoted by sprint, leap, or maneuver. Your agility is your ability to run through a tomato field without stepping on tomatoes and making sure that you don't spoil the harvest.
Interesting.
Your strength, or your ability to dodge tomatoes being thrown at you.
Yeah.
Your strength is your ability to crush a tomato. Your finesse is your ability to cut a tomato very finely or peel a tomato without actually breaking through the layer that goes into the juicy part of it. It's very fine motor control. Your instinct is your perception of being able to see or feel a tomato being thrown at you, and knowing and smelling where tomatoes might be. Your presence is your ability to sell tomatoes. And your knowledge is knowing that tomatoes are fruits.
Mm-hmm.
and understanding how to cook with tomatoes, I guess. So, Sabir. Sabir is gone. Oh, there he is.
Yes.
Hello.
Oh,
Have you assigned character traits?
Have I assigned character traits? Why, yes, I have. GM.
What you
yes,
got?
I have.
What you got?
Character. Let me find it. Found it.
look at
Character
this guy go.
traits.
Can't stop him.
Agility. You want to place a gamble on it?
I'm going to say that your agility is +1.
Oh my god, somebody should do the lotto, and it's you there, guy. Strength.
I'm going to say that's
+2.
your +2, yeah.
All right, finesse. Go
0.
for it.
+1.
0.
Ah,
All right. Instinct.
+1.
that's the +1.
+1. All right, presence.
-1.
-1 for sure.
0.
Oh,
And some
0.
knowledge is
Knowledge is
-1.
negative.
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
I forgot about knowledge when I was looking at it. I think I had the same. I have your character sheet that I made somewhere in the house. I'll have
Somewhere.
to look it up and see.
Well,
like,
I mean,
how
like
close we
you
came.
got. I mean, like you got 4 out of the 5 right.
Yeah.
There's technically 6.
Yes, I know. I wasn't gonna correct you. Okay. Hazel,
Would you like to guess mine?
I would like to guess yours. I'm gonna say
Okay.
that agility you picked +1.
Do you want me to tell you as you go?
Yes.
Or do you want to go through all of
No,
them?
no. Tell me as
Okay.
we go. Agility
No.
+1. No. 0.
No. Yes.
Strength -1.
Yes.
Finesse +1.
Yes.
Instinct +2.
Yes.
Presence 0.
Yes.
Knowledge +1.
Yep.
Interesting.
I'm
He's
kind
reading
of
us like a book. I hate
I'm
it.
kind of surprised that you put 0 in strength instead of -1.
I did do -1 as strength.
Yeah, she did do
put
Oh, what did I
Uh,
say?
0 in agility.
Oh,
Yeah.
0 in agility. Okay,
Yeah.
That
fair enough.
surprises me.
I mean, honestly, when Hazel was a camel, it was a disaster. So it definitely gives 0 for agility
Okay.
vibes.
Okay. That's
So-
fair. That's fair. All right. So we have our modifiers distributed. Now we look at our evasion. So your character's evasion reflects how hard it is for adversaries to hit them. Your class's starting evasion appears right beneath the evasion field on your character sheet. You want to copy this number into the evasion field. We're going to adjust that later. That'll probably be once we start picking weapons and armor and stuff like that. I believe. Yeah. All right. So you're
Yeah, I already messed
so-
with all that.
yeah, I figured you did.
Yeah.
All right. So
Sorry.
your hit points and your stress are already decided for you on your character sheet as well. And then your hope and fear currencies, they are already also marked on the page. You can only have up to 6 hope, but I can have as many fear as I want. I have no limit to my fear. All right.
Yet.
Yet.
You can
Um,
only have as much fear as you remember.
Oh, I'm gonna have like a little tracker or something. Like,
You're also going to get an abacus.
I'm thinking about it, or like
Yeah.
something that like goes right here that I can move. Like I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right. So choosing starting equipment.
Just get a whiteboard behind you.
Now, in the character guide, it'll give you suggestions. It'll give you suggestions for your traits, suggestions for your primary weapon, suggestions for your secondary weapon, suggestions for armor. And your inventory options. So, Augie,
Yeah.
what?
So I already messed with that.
Yes, I know.
So I didn't go with the suggestions because Augie fights with a sword and shield.
Right.
And the suggested weapon for a warrior is a two-handed sword, longsword, because that uses agility. I'm, however, going to be using instead a broadsword, which also uses agility and is a one-handed weapon, as well as a brave shield, which in Daggerheart counts as a weapon, but it includes like the trait or feature or whatever of giving you an extra armor slot because it's a shield. But you can attack with it.
It's a
So-
brave shield?
Yeah, it's called a brave shield. One word.
Where did you see this?
On demiplane.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, there were some other options in there. There was a round shield, a buckler, a
So
tower shield, and some other stuff.
let me see something real quick here, because I may have to take your brave shield away,
Sure.
because it is. I'm looking to see if it's a tier 1 or tier 2.
Well, I mean, for the purposes of what we're doing here, I don't think it's...
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I
Oh,
mean,
that's a tier 4.
it's a brave shield is tier 4.
Yeah, I'll get rid of it, but...
I mean, you can hold on to it for now, but when it comes to the game, if we switch to yeah, it's a tier 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, the secondary weapons are round shield, tower shield. Those are our choices.
Round shield and tower shield?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, well, either way, the aim
I mean-
for Augie is broadsword and
When
a shield.
when we level
Now-
up, we'll have options to review weapons and inventory and stuff like that.
Yeah, right on.
So you can hold on to your broad shield, your brave shield, if you want for now,
No, that's cool, man.
knowing that it will be taken away later.
Yeah.
Why don't I see? Where's the secondary weapon? Secondary weapon table. Here we go. You have a round shield or tower shield.
Yeah,
That's
it.
Yeah, that's it. Those are the only shields you got.
And they are...
But they do damage. Ha.
Yes, they do.
Do
They
you?
are weapon. And
which
they
is
both
which is good, which is a
used-
change.
Yeah. And they increase your armor score. One of them reduces your evasion.
Yeah. So I'm going with the round shield and the broadsword. It is a strength-based weapon, which my strength is +0.
Except you're taking
But-
it's a Kopesh.
Yeah, my broadsword is technically a Kopesh for the purposes of flavor, but in terms of
Mechanic.
what I mechanically picked,
Yeah.
it's a broadsword
Dope.
because it's a one-handed agility-based weapon.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah.
Hazel, are you going with
Oh, sorry. And my armor is chainmail.
chainmail armor? Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Hazel, what are you picking? Are you going with the suggested, or are you going with something else?
Shit. My character. Yeah. For my character description? Is that what
Equipment.
We're doing equipment now.
we're talking about? Oh, equipment. I took the suggested weapons and I did a. I wish it would show me which one I selected. Oh, maybe it's loading.
Short staff.
It is. Yeah, I took the ones. I could just look here. A short staff and a round shield. And for my armor, I took leather armor.
Now,
Nice.
I want to give you the to keep you informed. So a short staff uses instinct. It is a close range weapon. It does a D8 +1 worth of magic damage, and it's one-handed. Now you could use a dual staff if you want, which is also an instinct weapon, but it has a range of far, and it does a D6 +3 magic damage, but it is two-handed, so you would not be able to wield a shield with a dual staff.
Wield a
I
shield.
probably shouldn't have a shield considering the fact that it takes strength and I have a -1 for strength. So
You do you.
that might not be my best way.
It may not be
I
your
mean-
best.
the shield, you don't have to use it as a weapon. You could just use it for the sake of getting the extra armor.
Right.
But it just also functions as a weapon should you choose to use it in that manner.
Also takes strength though.
Yeah,
Just
I
using
mean,
Yeah. It would,
having it doesn't like having negative strength doesn't seem to negatively impact you in a defensive manner
Okay.
for
Yeah,
the
then
purposes of using a shield. I mean,
I'll keep them the same then, because typically, like, I would, if I'm in close proximity, or if I'm farther away, I would probably use a spell. If I was in, like, playing D&D, I would, like, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
you're probably trying to use a thorn whip or whatever.
Yeah.
so you're
Yeah.
gonna
Or-
switch to the dual staff?
No, I think I'm gonna keep the short staff so I can use my shield.
Okay.
Then,
Alright.
even though it takes strength, I just won't use it as a weapon, and I guess try to use it as
Yeah.
armor.
Yeah, you get the benefits for it as armor. So your leather armor has a base threshold of 6 and 13, and a base score of 3. It has no features to it, but your round shield gives you a +1 to your armor score. So what does that mean? Your armor score goes up by 1, so you can mark. So in this case, because your base score is 3, your base score is now 4, and you can mark 4 armor slots. And then your thresholds are whatever the armor thresholds are plus your level. So in this case, leather armor is 6 and 13. For you, it would be 7 and 14 because you're level 1.
So your minor damage is 7, and your
major damage
or major damage, sorry,
is
et
14.
cetera. Forgot what the numbers were when I was speaking.
Yeah. Minor damage threshold and major damage threshold. Sabir.
Yes.
What did you pick for your?
I just put you up there. Stay up there. Huh? What are you doing? You get down, you get back up again, you get knocked down again.
Chumbawamba.
Chumbawamba.
Yeah.
What did you pick for your
Thump.
weapon and your shield? Or
I
weapon and
picked
armor?
I went with the suggested with the hopes of counter offering.
Oh,
I'm listening.
spicy.
All right, the suggested was hollowed axe, right?
That's cool.
Yes.
Javelin.
You want to
With javelin?
replace the hallowed axe with a javelin?
Because currently, right now, on the tier 1 weapons, there's broadsword, longsword, greatsword, battle axe, mace, warhammer, dagger, quarterstaff, cutlass, rapier, halberd, spear, but not javelin, shortbow, crossbow, and longbow. But because I am a magic class, because I am Seraph, I get to choose from the magic starting weapons, which is arcane gauntlets, hollowed axe, glowing rings, hand runes for any Augies out there, returning blades, short staff, dual staff, scepter, wand, and great staff. So I propose choosing hallowed axe, but flavoring it as a javelin.
Absolutely, you may do so.
All right, good. Then I took the round shield option. I wanted to take tower shield, but that -1 to evasion is pretty
Scary, man.
gnarly.
Is rough.
Yeah.
Is rough.
But I mean, I do technically have the cloak of protection, so I technically should take that without the event. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I
no,
took
no.
the round shield.
We'll be translating your magic items as well, for sure.
Well, that's why I did the javelin, because the javelin is already magic, so it gets a +1 magic because it's the javelin of lightning.
Yeah,
So just swapping that around, just calling it a day.
we'll make that happen.
All right.
Makes sense.
So then I chose the chainmail armor. So my base score is 4, but because of the round shield, now it's 5. So I get
Same
5
sense.
armor slots to use to reduce the severity of the damage by 1.
And
By
so,
1 threshold.
And so your let me see.
Is
So
7 and
your
16.
thresholds are 8 and 16.
8 and 16.
Yes, 8 and 16.
There you go.
Cool. So you have evasion 10, armor 5 as well?
Evasion 8
Oh, 8.
because
Right, I have a +2 in agility.
yeah.
Yeah, that's different.
Well, the plus 1 to agility wouldn't give me an extra evasion, right?
No,
it
it would increase
would.
your agility your agility trait.
I
Yeah,
have 10
but-
evasion, plus 11 from class, -1 from chainmail armor. Oh, never mind.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's why.
So, and then the chainmail gives me -1 to evasion.
Hmm.
So I have 8. So I started out with 9, got 8.
Right on.
There you go. All right. Now we can choose our starting items. You have options on the character guide sheet, so if you wanted to just circle them, you can circle them. You automatically take a torch, 50 feet of rope, basic supplies, and a handful of gold for druid.
Yeah.
You can choose either a minor health potion, which will increase your health, or a stamina potion, which will clear stresses. And then also a small bag of rocks and bones, or a strange pendant found in the dirt. I'm gonna go ahead and
bag of rocks and bones.
I'm gonna say that if
It's
you
so tempting.
want,
It's so you.
the strange pendant can be fingers,
The finger of
finger necklace. It can be your strange
Yeah.
pendant.
Perfect.
It's perfect.
All I need is that my finger necklace comes over to this game. That's really my
I swear,
only
like
requirement and pillow.
Hello, Solid
I-
10 D&D. Welcome. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, solid 10. Hell yeah.
nice.
Good to have you.
I really hope that something happens with that finger necklace, that it becomes like plot relevant somehow.
Nothing bad. I was like, how could you
No,
do that?
no.
I saw the
I was like,
eyebrow
that
raise
would
on
be
I saw
tragic.
I saw the eyebrow raise on Marco. He was doing it. He was doing it. That was a good
I'm
poker
sure he
face.
was.
So,
That was
He
a good
was
poker
like-
face, Marco.
as
Yeah.
a seraph,
Weird that you were to take a sip right when that comment was mentioned. Like
You
you were
get
trying
a
to
torch,
hide your mouth.
you get 50 feet of rope, you get basic
We use
supplies,
clear glasses here.
a handful of gold, and you can choose either a minor health potion or a minor stamina potion, and either a bundle of offerings or a sigil of your god.
Way to make me shut up.
Yeah, that's good choices there.
So many good choices. Like
So
plot
now-
relevant finger necklace.
Yeah.
So now, did you guys choose your character descriptions? You guys do all that?
Mhm.
All right.
Yes.
So now that we've selected our inventory, we get into the background.
I picked a whetstone
You picked
as
a
a
whetstone.
warrior. I had choices.
So,
I
mine
picked
was
the
a
sigil of my
whetstone.
god,
Nice.
which is my
um,
dead hand.
well, before we get into the background questions, I'm gonna move things around a little bit, just a tad. Instead of backgrounds,
Sure.
we're gonna go with experiences.
Fun.
We're going to create experiences. So on your sheet, below where your hope meter is, you have the experience section. You get to start with 2 experiences. Now,
I wrote 2 down if you want to use them as examples.
these experiences can be anything you want. Augie, what did you write down?
So the first one I put down was archaeologist. Right? My profession under the sea is archaeologist. And the other experience I wrote was fighting kaiju. Because there are monsters in the ocean and I gotta fight them. So in my mind, this translates to when we are discussing things that involve ancient history or dead societies or how societies rise and fall, I might be able to add my archaeologist experience, or examining old stones or whatever. I may be able to add the +2 from my archaeologist experience, be it during an exploration moment or a social situation. And then the fighting kaiju experience would be if we're in combat with a creature that is particularly large, I might have a bonus to my attack rolls against it, or my evasions, or like reaction rolls to avoid something. So that would be like how it applies in those contexts.
So,
Or if someone's asking for advice on how to fight giant creatures, I'd be like, well, let me tell you about this.
so that's an excellent example as to how this works. So what experiences do, I'm going to read this directly from the book because I think I can't say it any better. When one of your character's experiences fits the situation at hand, you can use that experience to showcase their expertise. Before you make an action roll or reaction roll, you can spend a hope to add the experience's modifier to the roll's result. Sometimes more than one of your character's experiences is a good fit for the situation. For example, if your character is trying to sneak past a guard in the dark, your I live in the shadows and stealthy experiences would both apply. If it fits the story, you can add more than one experience modifier to a roll, spending a hope for each. And so, the kaiju, fighting kaiju fighter. Mm-hmm. If you're fighting a creature that is large or larger, right? Mm-hmm. And you make your duality roll to make an attack, you can spend a hope to use that kaiju fighter to add that experience modifier to your roll additionally. Mm-hmm. And if you're talking to somebody about kaijus, I mean, I know I'm just saying what you just said. If you're talking to somebody about kaijus and you want to, like, you know, you're using a knowledge roll or a presence roll, you can spend a hope to use that experience to gain +2 to your knowledge roll or your presence roll. So that's what it works. Now, you can't have an experience that's like healer and you use your experience to clear stress. It has to be associated with a roll. Now, if there's a roll to heal stress or hit point, to clear stresses or clear hit points, then you can spend a hope to add your experience modifier to that roll. But on its own, it doesn't do a thing by itself. Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me. You guys, questions, comments, concerns?
Now,
Kind of.
Hit me.
But well, so mine that I chose was Gladiator and Back Alley Doctor.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Those are perfect.
Yeah. The Back Alley Doctor one, I don't know how it would. I kind of see how it would work in a role play sense. Mm-hmm. If someone was injured or something like that, I can go ahead and stitch them up. But it wouldn't really necessarily be for mechanical needs.
I think it could work mechanically, right? If, for example, one of the domain cards for Splendor involved a DC 13 healing roll.
Yep.
So you could say that your Back Alley Doctor experience applies for the sake of adding to that roll.
Additionally, I would argue that if you're in like a seedy part of town and you're dealing with criminals and stuff like that, and one of them is wounded or something, you can use your Back Alley Doctor roll to use like a presence roll, or they don't even have to be injured. Your Back Alley roll could be used to add Back Alley Doctor experience could add to a presence roll to convince them like, hey, you have a rash. Let me take a look at that and like let me help you and you can help me. You know, like it works in a roleplay experience like that as well. So both the feature from the domain card and that both work. It really goes down to the level of creativity that you want. Now, there are some suggestions. There's some experience examples.
But we do have to spend hope to use these things.
Yes, you have to spend hope to use
experiences. We're probably not spamming them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, that's not necessarily true. So, for example, if there is a gladiatorial arena fight and Sabir is in the gladiator arena fight and he wants to hype the crowd and get the crowd on his side because mechanically it makes sense or it does something or it throws off the other person, his gladiator experience, I may just say, oh yeah, absolutely. Like, what do? You describe what you do. You don't even need to roll. The crowd is on your side. You're good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking of that like as the showboater experience kind of thing, and then also like storytelling, like when I had the strips of bacon as spider legs.
Exactly. That and like experiences.
Yeah,
That's
it's
one.
like
This
a
is one of my
performer.
favorite mechanics in the
Same.
game. Which if we end up not switching to Daggerheart, I may implement this in our
In the
home
campaign.
game in D&D. We may add experiences to our character sheet somehow, and then you can be like, hey, does my experience is this like give me advantage or add a modifier of some sort? Because I think this is so fun, and it makes it
I'm
so
with you
much
on
more
that
unique.
100%. It really also, I think, fleshes out the backstory of the character.
Oh yeah.
Because, like, in the description, you get those cool backstory questions that are very specific, but experiences really add to a more, like, holistic view,
Yeah.
you know?
Hazel, what you got?
Interesting.
Nothing is being heard. You're far from your mic.
Nature's Friend
Cute.
Okay.
and Exile.
Okay. I
How do
like
you
it.
imagine using Exile?
Why am I using Exile?
No, how do you imagine it comes into play?
Oh.
Because Nature's Friend I can kind of see.
Yeah, especially with all the fire.
Maybe like potentially being able to connect with somebody else who's had a similar experience, or being able to, if I'm in a certain situation, be able to tell if there's like, I don't know, like
you got a sixth sense for the people who've been shunned away.
yeah, or
But
maybe
it's-
like use it to be able to see the divide in a community, like if there is like, oh, like I'm trying to like think of a way to describe it, like,
No, that's what's up.
but like politically, if
I
there
love
was
that.
some type of
I fucking love that.
issue in a community, let's say,
Yes.
that maybe
Yeah, yeah.
that I could like,
It's like an insight roll at a societal level.
Yeah.
yeah, kind
No.
of like that. That's like what I
Gotcha.
was thinking,
That's-
but I'm not very good at like describing.
No, that's
That.
fucking sick. That
I
I had
got you,
not
I
thought
got
of.
you.
I thought of like exile
interesting.
means you also have to kind of live on your own. You have to fend for yourself, so you're really good at like surviving on your own, like finding food, finding a place, like a safe place to stay in the night, like
Like a survivalist type.
yeah, I think of that. I think of like I don't know, like but it's
Well,
it's,
these things apply in multiple contexts if it makes sense,
Yeah, I love the finding a divide in a community. That's really fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm fucking talking about. That's probably the
I
most.
thought about
What?
what?
What were you
Oh,
gonna say?
I thought about. I thought about doing Survivor. That was one of the ones that I thought about, and then I was like, "Nah, Hazel probably wouldn't survive if it wasn't for the rest of the party."
Hey, maybe.
Maybe,
But she's gotten some
but
good
she's
help.
not trying to find out.
It's all you.
That's where Friend of Nature comes in. You've got the Snow White singing to birds or whatever.
So
right? It's just me and
Yeah.
Pillow against the world. It's
Yeah.
fine.
I made a wizard on Demiplane, and or as I was like playing with looking for these things, obviously gonna make a wizard.
Obviously.
One of my experiences that I wrote down was actually.
Yeah, that one's pretty funny. Yeah.
I thought it was really
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Damn right.
From
Okay.
real life to table, I see.
It's part of who I am. Okay, so now we get to pick our domain cards.
Yay!
So, Augie,
I did that.
you are a warrior, is that correct?
Correct.
And so that
I
means
get to pick from the Bone and Blade.
so bone and blade.
domains.
What
Yes.
domain cards did you pick?
So there are a few good options in there, and I'm going with what makes sense for the runes that I have as a rune knight fighter, as well as just like Second Wind, for example. There's no...
Hey!
Oh, hey yo!
FLC Windtalker, thank you so much. Welcome.
That's
Oh.
FLC. Heck
Welcome
yeah.
to the quest.
Welcome indeed. So we're making Daggerheart characters. Feel free to hop on and make them with us.
Yeah.
Um,
So what'd you get?
I decided to go with, for example, my Cloud Rune that allows me to redirect an attack. There isn't something that quite fits that exactly, but the Bone domain has one that's called I See It Coming.
Okay.
When you're targeted by an attack made from beyond melee range, you can mark a stress to roll a d4 and gain a bonus to your evasion equal to the result against the attack to basically avoid it. So the way I imagine that playing out is it's replacing the Cloud Giant rune. And the other one that I picked is from the Blade domain, Get Back Up.
Hold up, one second.
When
One
you
second.
take-
One second. I want to, because I See It Coming has an errata. So they had a clarification. So
Okay.
my card reads, when you're targeted by an attack made from beyond
From
melee
beyond
range,
That's right.
you can mark a stress to roll a d4 and gain a bonus to your evasion equal to the result.
Yeah.
Okay. Against the attack. Okay, that's
Right.
what's missing from the card is against the attack. All right,
Ah,
same
okay.
thing.
Well,
Same
here
thing.
it has it on it.
Against the attack.
Um,
All right. And then
right.
what was the other one?
So, Get Back Up. When you take severe damage, you can mark a stress to reduce the severity by 1 threshold.
That is from the Blade domain.
Correct. So in my mind, it's like trying to represent the tankiness that Augie has. And again, there's no second wind in this game, but that I think is close to being similar.
Okay.
In terms of the equipment, I decided to go with the stamina potion because I'm going to be marking a lot of stresses based on this build.
Makes sense.
So I want to make sure that I can keep those going.
Smart.
There's another one in Bone that I thought about, which is Untouchable, which is like a passive bonus to my evasion that functions very similar to I See It Coming, but doesn't require stress and it doesn't require a roll, but it is the average of a d4. I think it's +2 or something.
Yeah. It's the average of, let me see, half of your agility.
Half of your agility,
And,
right?
and
So
all numbers in the game are rounded up. So if your agility is +1,
mine's +2.
then you would add a 1 to
Right.
your evasion.
So that's cool, but it feels less akin to the Cloud Rune.
Gotcha.
So we're going for the gambling one that is going to be less consistent, but
More interesting.
it is more interesting.
also-
and
Sorry, go ahead.
it's Cloud Runish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Also, to give you an idea, minor health and minor stamina potions clear 1d4 HP and 1d stress respectively. That's what they do.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
right.
Just FYI. All right.
Yeah, so I can keep marking stresses and take the potion and have some stresses to mark again.
Severe. What
Yep.
domain cards have we chosen for you?
Dude, every time you answer, it seems like you're being called out by the teacher. It's that's the vibe I'm getting.
I have used Pot of Greed, and I pulled 2 cards
Hey, nice.
from my deck.
Mhm.
So I chose Mending Touch,
Of course. All right.
and then I'm honestly split between Reassurance, aka Guidance, or Bolt Beacon, which is aka Guiding Bolt.
Yes.
Yeah, fuck, both of those are so good, dude.
Because all right, let me just read this for the people in the chat instead of so basically, with Mending Touch, you lay your hands upon a creature and channel healing magic to close their wounds. When you take a few minutes to focus on the target you're helping, you can spend 2 hope to clear a hit point or stress on them. Once per long rest, when you spend this healing time learning something new about them or revealing something about yourself, you can clear 2 hit points or 2 stress.
It's pretty good.
It's Mending Touch is
It's great.
therapy.
Yeah.
Damn
Yeah.
right.
And then what I'm between, right, is reassurance once per rest after an ally attempts an action roll, but before the consequences take place. You can offer assistance or words of support. When you do, your ally can re-roll their dice. Or, so basically, guidance buffed.
Right.
Because I mean, re-roll their dice is pretty huge.
Yep.
But
But-
that's a level 1 potent or portent.
It's like
way.
a port.
Sort of. It's like a lucky because
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the luck feature. That's right.
the wizard actually does have essentially the portent feature as their class feature. So every class
Nice.
feature you have to spend. There's you
3
get to
hope.
spend 3 hope to like use it. They have portent, which is a predetermined roll. But sometimes the roll, like in this case, if they roll lower or they roll with fear, they have to take the second roll. So it could be worse.
It doesn't say that.
It says, where does it?
It says, when you do, your ally can re-roll the dice. That's it. That's all it says.
Yeah. So if they re-roll it and they get a worse result, they have to take that worse result.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you just meant they have to choose
Understand.
the fear.
Like can re-roll as being like if they have a good roll, they can be like, nah, I'm good, but thanks.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yeah. The reassurance didn't help them. I
Yeah.
was like, hey, you're good. They're like, I know.
I know.
They pull the Han Solo.
I'm great.
They pulled
actually.
Han Solo. All
Thanks
right.
for noticing. You know.
Hazel.
Or
We're not done
Bolt
with severe.
Beacon.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Or Bolt Beacon, where it's make a spellcast roll against the target within far range. On a success, spend a hope to send a bolt of shimmering light toward them, dealing D8 plus 2 magic damage using your proficiency. The target becomes temporarily vulnerable and glows brightly until this condition is cleared. So I think I'm gonna put Bolt Beacon down. I'm gonna do Mending Touch and Reassurance. You know,
Cool.
the cleric-y cleric of all clerics that
Nice.
has ever clericed. I'm
Nice.
clericing all over the place.
Hell, you might even be a seraphim or a toasted Cheeto.
Yeah,
Toasted Cheeto.
A
That's what it
toasted
is.
Cheeto.
Yeah.
Hazel, do you have domain cards chosen?
I do, and I bet you can guess them.
I am going to take a wild guess and say Vicious Entangle and Unleash Chaos.
Oh,
Unleash
interesting.
Chaos.
And
right.
Nature's Tongue.
Yep, and Nature's Tongue.
Yep.
Nature's Tongue?
Yeah, dude. Ain't no way she's not talking to Pillow. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah.
You
way,
said-
way to
Oh
know
my
your way to
gosh.
know your players.
Yeah.
Unlike you called our stats immediately, but way to know your
I guess I don't know y'all as well as I thought. Whoops.
I forgot that Unleash Chaos was a spell. And as soon as you said it, I was like, oh yeah, of course. It
Of
has to
course!
be. How
Yeah.
could we not?
At the beginning of a session, place a number of tokens equal to your spellcast trait on this card. Make a spellcast roll. Did you read the card or did you just go with the title of it?
I did read it. I did.
The name alone is
promise.
appealing, but
I read them all. But the name alone did draw my eye to
Yeah.
it. To
Make,
read it.
make a spellcast roll
Yeah.
against a target within far range and spend any number of tokens to channel raw energy from within yourself to unleash against them. On a success, roll a number of d10s equal to the tokens you spent and deal that much magic damage to the target. Mark a stress to replenish this card with tokens up to your spellcast trait. At the end of each session, clear all unspent tokens.
hell yeah.
So
Seems like a lot of damage, you know?
It can be, yeah.
That's like my thought process.
Yeah, I
I mean,
think-
of course, it could not be.
it'd
but,
be
like,
enough to
it's-
kill a commoner
It,
or two.
yeah.
So,
Or
so,
even
so,
three.
or even three, maybe. So, you know,
Could be.
What? So, and he wasn't a commoner, or else I would have killed him.
Well, one of them was. But
two of them were commoners. One of them was not.
Well, yeah, but the one that I didn't kill was
Was a guard.
A guard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
You know.
So now,
Oops. I actually, this is really important. Do the commoners in this game also only have 1 hit point?
let's
I
check.
think probably.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
while you're checking, I
This
don't even
feels-
think we.
It's important.
even-
It's important information.
Yeah. This feels.
I don't think we ever went over our class features.
No, we didn't.
No, I only went over Hazel's like beast wild shape feature because, or what's it called, beast form feature. I only explained it to her because it has an extra sheet, an entire extra sheet available to it. But please, what are your Seraph features?
So I get prayer dice. At the beginning of each session, roll a number of d4s equal to my subclass's spellcast trait and place them on this sheet in the space provided. These are my prayer dice. I can spend the number of any number of prayer dice to aid yourself or an ally within far range. And I assume closer. Doesn't have to be far. Like they
Within
can be,
far, so
yeah,
within far
within
or
far.
closer.
You can use a spent die. You can use a spent die's value to reduce the incoming damage, add to a roll's result after the roll is made, or gain a hope equal to the result. So if I roll a 4, I can get 4 hope.
Yes, potentially.
Yeah. Also, as a Seraph, I have life support where I can spend 3 hope to clear a hit point on an ally within close range. I don't know if I've already said that.
You did
That's
not.
pretty dope.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'll go over mine while Marco continues to search for
Go for it.
commoners. So Warrior Hope, the unique hope feature. It's called No Mercy. Spend 3 hope to gain +1 bonus to your attack rolls until your next rest. So I could start my day with that if I have 3 hope. And my Warrior class feature is Attack of Opportunity. If an adversary within melee range attempts to leave that range, make a reaction roll using the trait of your choice against their difficulty. Choose one effect of the following. Choose one effect on a success or 2 if you critically succeed. They can't move from where they are. You deal damage to them equal to your primary weapon's damage, or you move with them. Sorry. Additionally, it says combat training. You ignore a burden when equipping weapons. When you deal physical damage, you gain a bonus to your damage roll equal to your level. And then my subclass features. Courage. When you fail a roll with fear, you gain a hope. So anytime he gains a fear, I gain a hope. And battle ritual. Once per long rest before you attempt something incredibly dangerous or face off against a foe who clearly outmatches you, describe what ritual you perform or preparations you make. When you do, clear 2 stress and gain 2 hope. It's a good deal.
That is.
So I'm all about amassing hope and clearing stress.
So,
Oh, and my spellcast trait is my strength as a Seraph. So I get, and my strength is +2, so I would get 2d4 per session.
Hell yeah.
there you go.
Which is nice.
I found a village elder.
Mm-hmm.
They have an HP of 2.
Oh!
Yes,
Look at them.
that's an elder.
That is
so-
robust.
A merchant
Yeah.
has HP of 3.
Oh, look at these guys.
A petty
Going up.
noble has an HP of 3.
Sure.
Going
Yeah.
Where'd it go? A courtesan has an HP of 3.
Fair.
Oh yeah.
Steve said
if
he'd be
people
right
if people need to use the bathroom, go for it. Like do whatever you want. A courtier has an HP of 3.
Okay. So it seems like the average is 3.
Apprentice assassin has an HP of 1.
Interesting. Is it a child? I mean, you know.
Well, they say a young trainee eager to prove themselves. So
Sounds like a teenager.
maybe.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but yeah,
We
so
out
my
here-
point is
Killing assassin children.
I'm gonna say commoners have an HP of 1. So as long as you meet their armor class, which will be 10, or their evasion will be 10,
That's my evasion.
for now.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
We
Yeah.
can increase evasion. Evasion can be edited, can be adjusted. I forget how. Well, your evasion is 10, actually. Seraph
Yeah.
starts evasion at 9.
My class evasion is 11, but because I'm wearing chainmail armor, it's -1.
Why do wizards have an evasion at 11? That's crazy.
Well, warriors also have 11. My
Oh.
armor is what brings it down.
I wonder what the lowest is.
I think 8.
Who has an evasion of 8? Guardian is 9. Druid is 10. Bard is 10. I think the lowest is 9.
Oh.
So I'm going to say commoners have an evasion of 6. We'll figure it out from there. Okay.
So as long as we roll a 6 or lower, they admit
A 5 or lower. They're
5 or higher.
no 6 or higher.
Oh, as long
hit.
as you roll 5 or lower, you miss. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now
So we ain't missing.
Now we'll
So-
take a step back and we will answer the background questions that are on the sheets. Now, if you feel that the background question does not apply to you, we can come up with our own background questions.
Well, there are some here that like I had not considered as like things that applied to Augie necessarily because I just didn't think of like it just wasn't something that occurred to me, you know. So for me, the background questions that I got, I believe they're different per class.
They are different per class.
So the first question I got was, who taught you to fight and why did they stay behind when you left home? So for Augie, I decided like, okay, well, I would adjust this to make sense for Augie within the 2 parents that he has. One is far more of a fighter than the other. So I decided that he was primarily taught by his mother, but she's a Goliath, so she stayed on land, and I went to go live under the water. So I left home with my dad into the ocean. Then the next question I have is, somebody defeated you in a battle years ago and left you to die. Who was it, and how did they betray you? So like they're clearly geared towards someone who makes fighting more of a focus of their lives.
Yeah, you're a nerd.
But I'm a nerd, so for me, I went with this one character that in my notes is an excommunicated member of the organization I'm a part of. And I decided here she was a partner on an expedition, but she aimed to steal the artifact we were learning about. I tried to stop her. I failed. And so we fought. She defeated me, left me to die, and she betrayed me and the organization in that way. And then the last question I have here is, what legendary place have you always wanted to visit, and why is it so special? So there isn't like one specific place that Augie had in mind, right? So I was like, well, what would be something that does pull Augie? There are rumors of an ancient codex made by the giants that contains vast knowledge of their age. Some suggest the ruins hosting it are deep in the trenches of the ocean. So it's not necessarily true or accurate, but there's something in that direction, you know?
Cool.
That obviously deserves to be workshopped.
Very nice.
Mhm.
Sabir.
All right. So the background question that I have, I mean, I didn't change any. I just kind of answered them off, but I can probably change them at some point. But the first one was, which god did you devote yourself to? What incredible feat did they perform for you in a moment of desperation? So
If you
Sobnu-
feel that this is revelation of your character's backstory and you don't want that public knowledge yet, which I don't know if it is public knowledge or not, but you don't have to answer that if you don't want to. But go for it.
Oh, the incredible feat?
Or whatever.
Okay. Because,
If
I mean,
there's any information.
well, so I don't really remember an incredible feat that in desperation. So I said has yet to be seen,
Ooh.
but because the first time that I met him wasn't necessarily a feat. The first time that I met him, he was like, "What are you doing here? You don't belong here."
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, which was spoken about in a previous session where the reason the reason why Sabir hates fire so much is because when he was running away from his village being attacked, he jumped in a pile of bodies to hide, and then lamp oil was thrown on the bodies and ignited.
Mm-hmm.
But before that happened, Sabnu spoke through my family friend Duggar, and basically said, like, you don't belong here. You're not supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was lit on fire. So that is the whole reason why Sabir didn't like you lighting the cat on fire. You fuck.
These things make sense.
It was in the book. It wasn't me. But fair. Okay.
The second question that it says is, how did your appearance change after taking your oath? I have yet to take my oath, so I wrote, no, it changed before when I met him for the first time, because that's where the dead hand came from. Is this hand got covered in lamp oil, and then when it ignited, it burnt everything. But because
Nice.
I was so close to death, it kind of transferred.
Yeah, for sure.
The last question that I have is, in what strange or unique way do you communicate with your god? And I wrote, when near death of any sort.
All right.
Yeah, seems about
So,
right.
so I mean, so far that's kind of what's happened. And he was the crocodile in the water.
Mhm.
After we were getting chased, he was in the pile of bodies. We've just had very, very much moments of anytime someone's dead around me, he shows his snout.
Nice. Yeah, true.
His scaly face.
Yeah.
All right. Hazel.
Hazel.
Why
Oh,
was
no.
the community? Oh, is it going out again?
Yes, it is.
It just
Oh.
took a minute to actually catch your voice for some reason.
That's
just-
weird. I don't
You're
know why
just too
it's doing
soft
that
spoken,
this time.
but that's okay, Hazel.
Why was the community you grew up in so reliant on nature and its creatures? And I said because the Kaya Druids are secluded from humanity, or,
Society at
other,
large.
society. And they rely on nature and the creatures for protection and survival. Who was the first wild animal you bonded with? And why did your bond end? Well, it's Pillow. The bond will never end, or I will riot.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last question is, who has been trying to hunt you down, and what do they want from you? Since I seem to have figured out the smoke creature situation, I'm gonna say no one's hunting me down. I'm sure I'm wrong about that. So I changed it to what are you looking for and why? And I'm looking for a druid to be my mentor, because a mentor is important to Kaya druids and their learning. And
I
Hell yeah.
love it.
That's it.
Fantastic. Okay. Connections. We're gonna leave this section alone because we'll do that when we have Matt with us. If we continue into the Daggerheart stuff. So now it's 9:48. We usually try to end around 10 o'clock or 10:20, 10:15. We can call it here, or we can try to level up once to become level 2 characters.
I'm down to level up.
I am down to level up as well.
sure.
I feel like it'll be easy, right?
I don't think leveling up will take longer than 10 minutes.
It says create experience, increase proficiency, level up options, choose domain deck card.
So
Yeah.
at level
up
2,
options.
you automatically gain an additional experience. You increase your proficiency to 2, and then you can take 2 of the options below. Some of them are just as easy as like gaining an additional hit point or an additional stress, gaining a +1 to 2, a +1 bonus to 2 of your experiences. So instead of +2, they're now +3. You can gain a +1 bonus to 2 unmarked character traits like agility and instinct, whatever you guys prefer. Gaining a permanent +1 bonus to your evasion. Or the one that would take a little longer, those are all just like marking something and you're done. That's it. You're done for leveling up. The one that might take a little longer is looking at additional domain cards of your level or lower from the domain you have. Access to up to level 4. So you can look at level 2 domain cards now, if that was something that you would be interested in. So I'll give you a few minutes to make a decision about that.
Well, I'll be increasing my stats. Agility will be +3, and knowledge will be +2. And I'll also be picking the extra evasion point.
Okay.
So that'll be that, and then I get to pick a new domain card. So I'm just gonna be looking through those.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
you gain.
So the level up options include choose a domain card, but that would be in addition to the one that you get to pick anyway.
It says at level 2, gain an additional experience at +2 and gain a +1 to your proficiency. Choose 2 options from the list marked from the list below and mark them. And that's levels 2 through 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you chose evasion. What else?
And ability traits improvement.
So you couldn't
That's
pick a domain card.
It's not. So if you go to Demiplane, which is what I'm using, it says level 2, create an experience, increase proficiency, level up options. I pick those 2, and then additional to that, it says choose domain deck card. So there's a guaranteed choose a domain deck card regardless of whether or not you pick it.
Oh, really?
If you pick it as a level up option, you get to pick 2 cards instead of just 1. That's what it
Why is
implies.
that not in the? Yeah, no, it makes sense. I'm wondering why it's not. Why I'm not reading it like that. In the guide.
Je ne sais pas, my dude.
You're a warrior, right?
I sure am.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, you guys keep going. I'm gonna look this up real quick.
I don't know what it means by gain a +1 bonus to 2 unmarked character traits.
You're robotic.
Leave your microphone.
Yeah. Gain a +1 to 2 character traits is like taking. So what's your strength right now? +2.
It is
Yes.
+2, yeah.
So you can mark that up to +3, and then one other trait, an additional one. So, I think your agility is +1.
It's the equivalent of an ability score improvement, but you can only add 1 plus to any of the traits.
Okay, so I could increase traits up to 3 times to like get to level 4, and then I would basically upgrade all of these to. Yep. Okay. All right.
There you go.
Understood.
At level 2, you gain an additional experience and add it to your character sheet with a modifier of +2. You also gain a permanent +1 bonus to your proficiency. Top tier block found in the lower half of your guide. I think Demiplane might be wrong, my dude.
Okay. I don't know what to tell you about that.
Yeah, so run me through what you chose again. You gain an additional experience.
Yeah.
That's marked at +2, and you gain a +1 bonus to your proficiency. So you get 2 proficiency. And then you get to choose 2 things. What 2 things did you choose?
I chose increase traits and increase evasion.
Okay. That means that you can't choose a domain card.
So, in the
Wait.
level up
Oh,
options,
hold on. Finally, take a
choose-
new.
It says choose an additional domain card. So I think you
Yeah.
already get one, but you can get another one to have up to 4 domain
Right.
cards.
that's what I'm seeing as
Oh,
well.
you automatically get a domain card every time you level up.
Correct.
Guaranteed. I wonder
But
where
you
it's,
can
where does it
choose
say
to
that?
pick 2.
Oh, okay.
I'm not
All
sure
right.
where it's-
Choosing advancements. I see it. Yes, it's here. It's plain as day. It makes sense. It's just I would have put it backwards, but it makes sense. Okay, got it.
Cool.
Yes, you do get a domain card.
Beautiful. I'm picking strategic approach from the bone domain.
What does strategic
Wow.
approach from the bone domain do?
Would you mind finding that while I
Yes.
try to come up with an experience?
Yes, I will find it.
Thank you.
Strategic approach. After a long rest, place a number of tokens equal to your knowledge on this card, a minimum of 1. The first time you move within close range of an adversary and make an attack against them, you can spend 1 token to choose one of the following options. You make the attack with advantage. By the way, advantage in this game is you get to add a d6 to your duality roll, to your duality dice roll. So you will roll 2d12 and a d6, add the d12s and the d6 together. You clear a stress on an ally within melee range of the adversary, or you add a d8 to your damage roll. When you take a long rest, clear all unspent tokens. Neat.
Yeah, neat indeed. Cool. The experience I chose to add is Eyes of the Depth. So, in my mind, that's a +2 to, sensing or perceiving roles in darkness.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah. So now my agility is +3, my evasion is 11, and I have Eyes of the Depth as well as the strategic approach bone card. Hell yeah. Level 2 Augie's a badass.
Okay. Oh, also, our minor damage and our major damage threshold increases by 1. because
Correct.
We are now level 2.
Yes.
Right on.
Good catch.
So my minor damage is 9 and my major damage 17.
And I will choose an additional domain card. And because we are swapping out the Valor for Midnight,
Yeah.
I will choose Midnight Spirit, which allows me, as a flag, which allows me to summon a humanoid-sized spirit. So, boom, Spear's online. And then the second one, I will choose Healing Hands.
Mhm.
So, boom, there's that. And then the second option, I will choose.
Lots of good options.
The lip
I will
decision
choose
movement.
1 hit point. 1 hit point gained.
All right.
Nice. I start with an extra hit point because of my mixed heritage.
What is your gained experience, Sabir?
Mixed ancestry, sorry.
Oh, you know, just you know the one, that whole kit and caboodle.
Right on.
Oh no, I chose. I always land on my feet.
Nice.
Nice, dude.
Okay. Hazel.
level up options, I selected gain HP slot and increase evasion, and for choose my domain deck card, I did vicious entangle.
Now, hold on. You know that you can go to level 2 now, right?
Yes, I'm on level 2.
No. I mean your domain cards, your level 2 domain cards. You have access to level 2 domain cards now.
Oh.
So instead of
I was just looking through the ones that they gave me on this list of choose a domain. Oh, there they are. It says level 2 next to them.
Yeah.
Ah,
So
okay.
so for your
I can temporarily light a target on fire. Oh, I'm in trouble. Taking that. We're good.
Oh, there it is.
Wait, but do you even want to look at the Arcana options?
No, I'm okay.
What? Why?
Because Arcana options give you Cinder Grasp.
Oh.
That is Cinder Grasp.
Oh, that is Cinder Grasp?
Temporarily light a target on fire. Yeah.
Okay.
Floating Eye, Cinder Grasp or Floating Eye. And then
Yep.
Yeah, Cinder Grasp for sure.
I want to see... Let me see what Sage offered. You don't want to look at what Sage has to offer?
I'm sure it's great.
It has natural familiar. Spend a hope to summon a small nature spirit or forest critter to your side. That is
Ooh,
cute.
Yeah, it's got Holly vibes.
That could be Holly.
It does. It does. But temporarily light a target on fire. I mean, come on.
I mean, that is Hazel.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Plus, I still have Pillow.
Well, and
Pillow is also coming here.
you know what? You know what we can do? Because I gave you a free feat at the beginning. You can replace that
With the nature spirit.
with the
thing?
nature, with the familiar, if you wanted to. We'll play around with it to make them fit. We're going a little loosey goosey with like the rules as written because we're translating our characters and we want to hold on to who they are. If we decide to go with Daggerheart at the end of the day, but this is just a fun little exercise.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said the free feat, right?
One free domain card that
Any
is
of our
that is
choosing?
thematically relevant from any domain. It doesn't have to be domains that you are. What is that, my friend?
It's Exodia.
Oh, blood alert! I am your shield. When an ally within very close range would take damage, you can mark a stress to stand in the way and make yourself the target of the attack instead. When you take a
Yeah.
damage from this attack, you can mark any number of armor slots.
There you go.
Yeah. That makes sense.
All right.
But it was from the level 1/1. I'm not like I feel like a free feat should be a level 1/1 and not like a
I'll
one from.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, it should be a level 1 at least at the start.
Wonder how you might be able to add extra domain cards on Demiplane, if that's even possible.
It is.
Oh,
is.
is it?
So, in the character, right?
Yeah.
When you're selecting your domain cards, at the very, very top right, there is a filter button.
Okay. What in the character
you mean-
builder?
In the character builder.
Yeah, you
That's
can
how-
turn off
that's
the
how-
filter.
Yeah, I can turn off the filter, and that's how I was able to
Mhm.
grab the midnight cards. But I don't know about adding them.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to look at here. Which it doesn't look like it's built for that, which makes sense. But it just says ignore limits, right? So turn on to ignore selection limits for this section. Oh. Okay. Is it on? I must be doing it wrong. Okay, well, it's something I'll mess with later.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let's see here. Let's edit character. There we go.
Yeah. Ah, okay. See, there it is. All right. Mhm. So domain. Just add everything, I guess.
And what I'm trying to figure out is on the downtime.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is not wanting to show my armor slot that I have equipped.
Go to your inventory and you got to mark the box.
Equipment.
Yeah, you gotta go to the equipment. Okay, I found how to do it. So, in the character builder under class, you would hit the cog, then you would turn on the thing that says turn on to ignore limits or whatever. Then it changes how things look a little bit. But then you go to take domain deck cards, and on the top right under your traits, it says filters, and you can just add all of the domain deck cards, all the domains, and add the filters that you want and look through. So now I'm gonna do that, and it shows you what's selected and what's not.
There we go. Okay, I see what it is. I see how it. Boom. All right, we're golden.
Golden, baby, let's go.
What a cool little character sheet, I guess.
You guessed.
Yeah.
Level 2 experience.
Mhm.
Let's There's that.
Take a look here. Book of Ava, codex stuff.
I think I did my I think I leveled up my character. I think I
Way
did.
to go.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. For
And
my
what was
level
the
2,
what was the experience you wrote out?
I did Power of Friendship.
Aww,
Yay.
that's nice.
So then I thought, if my friends are nearby when I'm fighting, maybe there could be a little bit of an advantage. Or
Maybe.
casting, or
Mhm.
doing this, or doing that. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that makes
Or-
sense.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think that's good.
Boom.
Or
There we
maybe
go.
I
Look
can,
at that. He's sharing a screen.
Hey.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
that
got.
looks great.
So I mean, Demiplane provides a great little service, and it's all right there. So
Mhm.
all the cards that we basically printed out is right there,
Yep.
and that's nice.
Where did you say you can edit the oh, there's the cog.
Yeah,
All
there
right.
you click that to turn on the filter that says ignore limits, and it instead of showing 2 selections, it just shows you a fraction.
Where do you see ignore limits?
You have to go to the class section where you're picking your
Don't-
class.
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell
No.
anybody at all.
I won't say shit, bro. Don't you worry about it. All right. So when you've picked the class section, there's a on the top of that selection section. There's a cog next
It-
to change class or whatever.
In the character builder?
Yeah, in the character builder.
One second. Because I want to learn how to use this properly as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Character builder, here we go. All right, so in class, cog.
Yeah.
Ignore limits. Okay, there we
Yes.
go.
And then it changes it to fractions. So you see that?
It changes what
When
to
it's-
fractions?
When it's off, it says how many selections have been made.
Oh.
And then when it's on, it just changes it to fractions instead.
Okay, cool.
So then you go to take domain deck cards,
I see.
and in the box where you have the list of the cards,
Oh my God!
at the top it says filters.
Gotta.
Oh, that's good. That's
That
fun.
was great.
Yeah, it was solid.
Motherfucker.
Well, there you have the filters.
I see the filters.
You
yeah.
pick the domains that you want on the thing, and
Lovely.
mess with it however you see fit.
Lovely. All right.
Mhm.
Well, we've made them all.
It was a very cool, interesting play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, and it's, it gives us a little more of an idea of what it's like to, have these things. We won't know what it's like to play. Maybe we'll do like a one shot or a side shot at some point in time. Maybe we can do like a limited 3-episode series. They have their quick start adventure. I'm actually going to be running the quick start adventure like with some friends from work to get familiar with the system, figure out how it works, and get the flow for it. But then something else that's really cool. Well, we can call it.
Yeah.
But I just want to mention this really quickly. In the campaign book, in the rule book, there are campaign settings that have mechanics that are relevant to the gameplay. So, and they have a complexity rating. So the first one is the Wither Wild. When an invading nation attacks an ancient forest deity, a virulent overgrowth spreads throughout the land. It has a complexity of 1. Fainwick was once a place of great abundance and peace, dangerous to those unfamiliar with the land, but a cornucopia to those who respected its ways. When Haven invaded the wilds and forced the land into eternal spring, a dangerous bloom known as the Witherwild took hold and now threatens the lives of all who live there. In a Witherwild campaign, you'll play unlikely heroes from humble beginnings who are reckoning with their newfound duty to save Fainwick's people from dangerous corruption. And then it has here, like, the tone. It's adventurous, dynamic, epic, heroic, thrilling, uncanny, and whimsical. The themes, that's cultural clash. The ends justify the means. Grief, people versus nature, transformation and change, survival. And then touchstones. This is, like, inspiration. Princess Mononoke, The Legend of Zelda, The Dark Crystal, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. So there are 5 different campaign settings in here. I kind of want to see if Horizon Zero Dawn is mentioned in Motherboard. Because Motherboard is the Horizon Zero Dawn one that
Is there a specific setting that you were
that I was thinking of?
looking? Yeah.
Not really. Touchstone, Horizon Zero Dawn, the very first one.
There you go.
Mortal Engines, Mad Max Fury Road, the Final Fantasy series, Full Metal Alchemist, and Slug Blaster. That's the Motherboard campaign. Very, very cool.
Slug.
No,
That just reminds me
basically...
of Metal Slug.
What?
That just reminds me of Metal Slug.
It might be. I don't know what Slug Blaster is, but it could be like a game that came from that series. So the 5 campaign settings are... The first one is the Witherwild, which I just mentioned and read out loud. There is Beast Feast. When a small village's monster defense system fails, the local heroes must venture into the endless caverns below to fix it and cook up trouble for the creatures that stand in their way. So, Delicious in Dungeon, Monster Hunter World, and One Piece are the inspiration for that campaign. For that campaign setting. There is the Age of Umbra. In a dying world... Also, Critical Role is doing that currently. I'm watching it to get familiar with the rules. In a dying world immersed in relentless shadow and nightmarish monsters, small communities hold fast in the light, hoping those who endure can find a way to save this broken realm before all is lost to darkness. Dark Souls, Kingdom, Death, Monster, Berserk, The Seventh Seal, and Blasphemous are the inspirations for this. It also reminded me of In the Shadow of the Gods, the campaign that we did with Sky. It's very much like that, and it's like Attack on Titan too, is what I feel. Motherboard. In a world where magic takes the form of the technology left behind by a long-fallen civilization, a new threat rises as a malicious virus spreads through the machines that wander the wastes. That's pretty perfectly Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
5 banners. Long-brewing tensions between rival nations boil over, threatening all-out war. A Song of Fire and Ice, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Babylon 5, Friends at the Tables, Partisan, Born to the Blade, Court of Blades, Dragon Age Inquisition, Eberron Rising from the Last War. That's more of like a political intrigue one. There is a cowboy one, Colossus of the Drylands. A prosperous region of gunslingers and outlaws has fallen into terror as colossal creatures awaken from beneath the earth. So, Shadow of the Colossus, Red Dead Redemption, Deadlands, On the Shoulder of the Colossus. That one looks really, really cool as well. I think that's all 5. I think I mentioned all 5.
Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is as well, like, class features and traits and things like that, they are affected by these things. So in the motherboard campaign, there's no clanks because all machines are corrupted. But if you play a Beastbound Ranger and you have your companion is mechanical, and it has a corruption mechanic. So the virus, like to fight off so that your companion fights off the virus from corrupting it. And if you're a druid, your beast form shape is flavored as a mech suit that like envelops you.
That's pretty cool.
They're really neat. They're really neat. I mean, maybe we'll look at one of the campaign settings and maybe we'll play a short shot with it. I don't know yet. We'll figure that out. But yeah, that's it. It's 10:15. We're a little over what I usually kind of call it. So, any last thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, opinions?
No, I'm digging it. I think it's good.
I thought it was really cool to see how you can take somebody that was built mechanic wise first and then backstory second. To then, because I mean, like, if he was built by mechanics at his core, then those mechanics don't exist anymore. You can't really have them.
Right. So he becomes a different person. But
Yeah.
But
Become another person.
there's
Become
options.
another person.
There's options built in, and like I said, we can always create something. We can make adjustments. Like there is an action, or there is a second wind domain card somewhere in there. I forget what part of what it's part of, but like that can happen. Action surge can happen. You know, there's different ways to make adjustments. Maneuvers can happen. There's different ways that we can kind of get creative and leverage the rules to play for us.
Yeah. I mean, that is ultimately necessary. Like you said, it's not... You're transferring characters from one system to another where certain mechanics just don't exist in the same way. So you have to, like, figure that out. Hazel's fire spirit, Holly, that's one such case where it's like, okay, what does this look like in the context of this game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
So yeah.
interesting.
All right. Well,
Fair enough.
thank you very much for joining tonight. Shall we raid?
We can. We have a couple
Indeed we should.
have a couple of friend streamers. We got Quest and Jess. We got Crazy Questers. We have
Quest Keep is on as well.
Quest Keep. We got Maybe. We got Belloc playing some Elden Ring.
That seems like a less common choice. Why not? Let's go there.
Balak Presents.
Yeah, why not?
All right, set us up.
All right. Yes, Captain. My Captain. Just make sure that I spelled that right. Belloc Presents. All right, let's do this.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining. Next week, we pick back up with Teslam. Tune in tomorrow. I'll be on the Wednesday checkpoint. Tune in on Thursday, Steve's Quest. Tune in on Saturday, Kingdom Hearts. And tune in on Sunday for Sunday Scaries. Thank you all very much. Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.